you get to Genty, and you've got this other huge problem. It's a very deep running back draft. You take Genty with the 5th pick, or do you say take Tennessee's Kelvin Sampson in round 4? B. The answer is B. Especially with Bigsby and Etienne in the backfield still yet to be determined how they're evaluated by this new staff. So the positions as much as anything. Be interested to see Genty's career play out. He is getting so much, like more than Bijan, isn't he? More than any of these running backs, as much or more than Saquon got. As far as attention and projection to ceiling, we'll see. He's not going to last long, is he? Going to go in the top 10. You know, it's funny. Vegas always knows. I did look at one kind of different mock draft this morning. And that was if you did it by Vegas odds. Like the odds-on favorite at each spot right now in the draft. And, buddy, it sure looks spot on to me. It was Cam Ward at the top, and then it was Travis Hunter, and then it was Abdul Carter, and then it was, I think Will Campbell has kind of settled in the tackle with New England, which would leave the Jags with those 3 that I said, Mason Graham, Mimbo, or Jalen Walker. You know, a rush in, it can give you a lot of versatility, a lot of playmaking. I got this naggy feeling, E, and I think this is not to take credit in any way, but I think I brought up the prospect of Jalen Walker way back before his name was being talked about.
All right.
Because there's a versatility there that he would bring to that defensive line, and I still can't help wondering just exactly where they land on Mason Smith and Devon Hamilton as part of a rotation that will include Eric Armstead. You bring in Jalen Walker, it gives you flexibility, moving Trayvon Walker around. I wouldn't count him out of the evaluation at this point. He tore up those Texas All-American tackles the 2 times Georgia played Texas this year. Plays best football against the best competition. So I think he's there. Mason Graham's there. And, and if you do go offensive tackle, you know, Mimbo, or that's who would be there in this at least. But Vegas says it's Mason Graham, and then 6, guess what? Vegas says it's Ashton Genty. It just follows, right? 7, I believe, was Jalen Walker. It just follows right in line with probably what you would suspect the mock draft to look like and how the draft might fall. We continue to sit on you wouldn't think it would be that strange. In fact, I was surprised that it happens as regularly as it does. But did you know we're the closest to the draft without one of the first-round picks having been traded since Joe Montana was traded to the Chiefs back in 1993. The Niners traded him for the 18th pick, I believe, or the Chiefs did. They traded for him, traded the 18th pick for Joe Montana, and that came 8 days away from the first round. And so now here we are 3 or 4 days, still none of those first rounders. You got to think somebody's going to be trading back at some point, or better said, someone will trade up for a quarterback who's lingering or a position player who's fallen a spot or 2. We're not going to go through that first round 1 to 32. That never happens.
No way.
But we're further along than we normally are at this point. Boy, the Gators got hit by that transfer portal. Yeah, the Basque is officially over. We told you Friday, kind of surprising, that Chinyelu going to test the draft process. I really believe that Chinyelu and Condon are going through this draft process, see where they are. I don't think either is going to be evaluated high enough for them to leave school. I think they'll each go back, get one more year of increasing, their NBA chances in their draft positions. Could be wrong. I guess Condon, somebody could speculate and go ahead and let me tell you who Condon's. Do not get it twisted. I'm not saying he's there yet. You watch enough ball that you'll know who this guy is. I'm afraid many ears that these words fall on, it won't mean as much. But this dude, is it Sengun? Is that how he pronounces his name for Houston? Have you seen him?
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, that's what an NBA team hopes Condon can be.
Okay. He a big man down there?
Yeah, he's like a 6'10" dude from, I don't know where he's from, Portugal somewhere. But he's what they hope Condon can be. And this Sengun, by the way, he's come into his own. Hadn't been right away. He started to flash last year, and he's really developed this year for the Rockets, who, by the way, I guess the two eggs that were laid outside of your Easter festivities this weekend came by a couple of bunnies in Houston and I hate to say it, but L.A. What was that, bro?
Oh, no, man.
This is what you bring in Luka for? You bring in Luka went off, by the way.
Luka did his thing.
But, you're the retooled Lakers. You've earned home court, and you better be careful. I'm not sure the T-Wolves aren't better than you. If Naz Reid is going to throw up threes like he's Steph Curry, then, yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one. But, yeah, Ant showed up, right? He's continuing to climb that ladder. We'll see where he can carry a basketball team. But the Lakers lose at home. It wasn't too hard for Minnesota either, was it?
Did you see that docuseries of Starting Five with Ant-Man and LeBron where they followed the 5 NBA players?
No. What's it on?
It's on Netflix, I believe.
Okay, all right. I'll check that out.
And just the intro of it, I saw a clip of the intro, and LeBron was saying basically when he feels like the NBA is in good hands, he'll sit down. But he's like, I haven't crossed that person yet.
Okay.
And then Ant-Man's intro is right next to his, right after it, and he's basically saying, I didn't look up to any of these current ball players. Like, no way.
Yeah.
And then he just smirks at the end. It's just so classic.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Well, the playoffs are underway. It's fun time to watch the league. Kind of blowout city yesterday. Really over the weekend. Not a ton of drama. The Clippers and Nuggets played a good one. Clippers blew it, man. They blew it at Denver game one. That's enough. If you're interested in the NBA, I'm sure you're keeping up with it. But back to the Gators. So Chinyelu and Condon, I got off track there with the Condon comp. Love a comp, you know that, E. Then Aberdeen goes into the portal. Denzel Aberdeen, who was in line to grab that starting spot. Now, this is where you know that the cash is coming into play. It's got to be, right? I mean, if you're Denzel Aberdeen, you've put in your time there. You've developed. You've seen what the guards at Florida, how they just continue to improve. Why would you leave? You got one of those starting spots, man. So that was kind of strange. Look, you've already lost 3 guys in the backcourt. Aberdeen would be a bad loss. Now, sometimes they go into the portal, they kick it around. Florida can counteroffer, and it'll settle that way. But I don't think if you're the Gators, there's any way to shade Aberdeen leaving as I won't use the word devastating. It's a big loss, though. That's a big loss. If indeed he ends up transferring. There's always some sucker. Always some desperate team. That desperate team is UCLA. That's where Nico Amaleven is transferring. You know it's a bad signing when you officially announce the transfer and then you immediately say, oh, yeah, by the way, it's going to take a lot more cash next year to keep him.
Oh.
I'm not kidding you. That's how it went down. Let me see. I don't know if that's a particular story. No, it's not in the story that I'm reading right here in front of me. But, yeah. Basically, UCLA has already said to their donors that we're going to need to pony up more. So I don't know what he got this year. The supposition is he's taking a pay cut from what he would have made at Tennessee. Number 1 in the transfer portal rankings. Look, you're talking about a 5-star quarterback. They don't grow on trees. But the transfer was made official to UCLA on Sunday, and he's a California kid. Highly regarded prospect. UCLA, meanwhile, 5-7 first year in the Big Ten under first-year head coach Deshaun Foster. Good luck, man. Good luck with Amaleven because he's going to be leaving again next year if somebody comes with more cash. It's an odd story to this end as well. You ready? So Nico Amaleven. Was 5-star from Long Beach, recruited by UCLA out of high school. He's got a younger brother, Madden Amaleven. He committed to UCLA out of high school, but then on signing day changed his mind and went to Arkansas. Yeah. If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, might be a duck. Just saying. Georgia hit in the transfer portal yesterday, by the way. I saw they landed a trio, including a top 10 player linebacker from Army. Hey, Doc Murphy, what's happening over there? So we shall see. All right. If you're waiting for me to genuflect toward the Atlanta Braves, sorry, not going to do it. They needed to sweep over the Twins to keep the season alive. That's all I'll tell them. That's the only bit of CPR I will give this baseball team, this sad sack baseball team, is this. I said on Friday, look, if they don't sweep the Twins, season's over. I said it somewhat haphazardly, but nonetheless, they did pull off a sweep of the Twins over the weekend. So isn't that great? Awesome. Be back with more next. It's it's the Monday Morning Quarterback. We talked to Fred Taylor today. Get a little Monday morning running back action as well. Lots more happening in the sports world over the weekend. So we'll keep you up to date and continue to draft toward the draft with our draft coverage and talk as well. You are listening to The Drill, up and rolling on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. Get more horsepower under the hood.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing drivers.
This Sunday at Talladega. NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time when if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread. Carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb craving that we all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts that bread basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nah, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Baloo is on his way, and you can lose whatever you want to lose. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com. Trust me, you'll thank yourself.
Lauren Brooks here. At Hodges Mazda, they are proud of their solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. As your hometown Mazda dealer, their high customer service standards and their huge inventory of new and used cars provide their customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience. Their professional non-commissioned sales team puts your best interest first without exception. And all new vehicle purchases include the Hodges Mazda Protection Package. Visit them online at HodgesMazda.com or stop in today to learn more and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
4 guys, want a golf course fairway quality lawn? TopDressing.com just landed in Jacksonville with the golf course secret for St. Augustine grass homeowners. A patented process that aerates and turns your turf into a fairway stunner. Serious golf course technology, but in your yard. Less water, tighter cuts, total neighborhood domination. No one else scores a perfect 10 lawn. Hit TopDressing.com now. You will own the block. Top dress your yard like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal Conditions.
Want to support a locally and veteran-owned company? If you need a new AC, we should be your first and only call. Ideal Conditions keeps you cool. Just ask your AC. Call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjacks.com.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
Idealconditionsjacks.com.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging? Spring is here, a time to renew. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist here to help you look and feel your best with minimal to no downtime. Rejuvenate your skin, strengthen your core, and sculpt your body with advanced face and body treatments designed to restore your youthful glow and confidence. Just in time for spring and summer. A healthier, more fit you starts now. Visit dermagnify.com and step into spring looking and feeling your best.
Welcome to Guggen Nation, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and now Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Anthony. Have you been charged with a crime? You don't have to face it alone. I'm here for you. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me. 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW in the 904.
1010XL's draft previews are brought to you by Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Florida. Be a big.
If Liam Cohen is looking to replicate what he had in Tampa Bay with a pair of talented receivers, the 6'4" Ted McMillan would be amazing to pair with Brian Thomas Jr. McMillan is a possession receiver with the size and ball skills to create big wins deep. He also has a knack for adjusting his routes and working back on throws, which would certainly make Trevor Lawrence's job a whole lot easier.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Caliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Tailgaters parking season passes are on sale now. Secure your Jaguar season parking today. Enjoy indoor restrooms, a full-service bar and grill, access 4 hours before kickoff. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and book your space today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah, I don't know that there were any surprises or anything catching me off guard as much as it was. It's been very impressive, the adaptability of that group to say, hey, here are the items that we're emphasizing and that we'll be prioritizing, may look a little different than what you're used to, and being able to see them sort of pivot away from maybe things that they held at a premium in the past. And so that flexibility has really stood out to me amongst the group.
He's talking about the Balky scouting staff, right? Look, you don't just whitewash everything out of your organization. So asking guys to pivot. The question was asked to compare the way he works with how Balky ran things. And look, some differences are obvious. The Jags aren't holding any facility visits, right? They're not bringing in any of the prospects. There's a variety of reasons for that. I think the number one is don't give anybody any information that you don't have to give them if you can do it virtually or otherwise, or have already taken plenty of opportunity, to meet with guys. Then you can do it that way. Can't do worse than Balky. I mean, and again, not to beat a dead Balky, and this is so much more a problem in Jacksonville than Balky. This isn't a Balky problem. It's the problem that I've, been pounding the table now for a while. And that is we just are the biggest swing and missers when it comes to rounds, 3 through 7, 4 through 7 in particular. We're the worst in the league. Those are facts. We've the least amount of anybody, anything. We don't draft Pro Bowlers. We've got no production. We've got nothing. There's no hidden gems for us, man. And again, we've gone through this. You go back through the history of the Jaguars, and the best of the best that they've gotten in 30 years is like Telvin Smith. That's the peak, man. That's the ceiling. It's just got to find talent in other places in the draft, man. And I don't mean just third string, fill out your roster. I mean dudes. We've never found them. I mean, that's where ultimately this success is going to jump out at you from Gladstone and crew. I mean, anybody. We could all get together in a think tank and not blow top 10 picks most of the time. It may not be perfect. We're not going to just outright hijack them. No. The savvy comes in round 4 where there's 6 running backs who, if you look at their college resumes, they look the exact same. One of those 6 is not going to be the exact same. He's fixing to bust out for 1,200 yards. Get that guy. We've never gotten him. Again, we're taking, gosh, I can't even remember Storm's last freaking name. What's the kid's name?
Storm Johnson?
We're taking Storm Johnson, and Kyron Williams is going picks later. I mean, come on, man. So that's where we're going to have to. That's where we're going to have to hit. I will say this about the Jaguars and where they sit at number 5. We're kind of the wild card of the draft, aren't we? Like those first 3 picks are just solid gold, and the 4th pick by New England isn't going to affect the rest of the draft like our pick is. If you want to get Genty or you want to get one of those quarterbacks, or you start to get nervous when the Jags are on the clock that somebody else won't do it. Correct?
Yeah.
If you really want Shedeur Sanders and you know the Saints are going to take him at 9, you're boom, boom, boom. Now, look, you're going to wait as long as you can, but here's the fear, because the Jags are such a wild card, that if you don't move to 5, someone else will. And, would someone do that for it? Say the Bears want Genty bad. I think the Bears pick 9th or 10th, Say the Bears want Genty. They know the Raiders are taking him, but they want Genty. It seems pretty likely the Jags' phone would ring at 5. That's the one thing about Genty we haven't talked about as much. The Jags are sitting right before he starts going. So if somebody really, really likes him, just right there within 4 or 5 picks of you, imagine. I mean, if the Jags could trade back to 10, still get one of these impact players. Now some, Warren or some of these other guys become more in play. At the end of the day, there was nothing addressed on the defensive line in free agency.
Nothing.
It just screams Mason Graham is the pick. It just screams. But that doesn't change the fact that the Jags are kind of the wild card. They're the first team that comes up where, now look, if you want Shedeur, you can probably wait another couple, maybe deal with whoever's at 8 or 9 or 7 or 8. But, man, Genty in particular, somebody's in love with him. And they want to send you their first and their second and their third, or their first and their, second this year, third next year. Yeah. Heck yeah. We got a lot of needs here. And we already said this guy loves this draft capital. Doesn't feel like Gladstone wants to use it to trade more picks for less and the better players. Sure seems like he wants to use them. Use them in spots where they've hit grand slam home runs in Los Angeles outside of the first round or two. So we shall see. Now, to that end, I've seen the latest 7-round mock draft from Chad Ryder, Ryder's Block. Ryder, is a Jags Today guy, right? Don't they talk to him a couple times?
Yeah, they talk to Chad a lot.
Okay. So, look, sometimes, again, at the end of the day, we can go round and round and try and do it. If it's not Mason Graham, to me, it's Jalen Walker. I don't know if they love those offensive tackles or consider the need. I don't know where they are on Walker Little. That's kind of a wild card to me. We talked about that last week. I'm not going to beat the kid to death. He's been serviceable, but is he good enough? And if there is a tackle that you are projecting as an all-pro, you bet they would take him. I don't know if they have Mimbo projected that way. Anyway, this mock draft looks like the Vegas odds that I was telling you about. 1, Cam Ward. 2, Travis Hunter. 3, Abdul Carter. Now, they got the Patriots taking Genty. Huh? Well,
wow, that could shake some stuff up.
Yeah,
too.
there is this. Vrabel had who? Who did Vrabel ride? Derrick Henry.
Yes, sir. Yes, he did.
Right?
The king.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a jump up there. The Jags go with, you guessed it, Mason Graham. He's got the Raiders taking Shedeur Sanders at 6. So listen, if Genty and Sanders are both on the board and there's talk that the Raiders could take both of them, that means if somebody really wants either one of those cats, our 5th pick becomes prime. Again, that wild card spot feels like a good place to sit. Jalen Walker, by the way, goes 8 to the Panthers. Got the Saints taking Jackson Dart all the way up into the top 10. All right, let's go to some more rounds for our Jaguars. See where we go from there. Let's see, round 2. Come back with the 36th pick. Maxwell Hairston is a cornerback from Kentucky. He tore up the combine with that super fast speed. He's been a riser through the process. I would be completely okay with the Kentucky cornerback there. Not that it matters, but I would be. We get 2 picks in round 3. Now it starts to get fun. That first one is pick 70. They've got us taking Elijah Arroyo. You guys know who that is. It's the Miami tight end. And why I maybe, Warren at 5 wouldn't make as much sense. That is pretty high for a tight end, though. If you've got a 3rd round need, if you've got a superstar first rounder, maybe. All right, the second 3rd round pick is a safety from Oklahoma, Billy Bowman. Let's now go up to round 4. We got 2 more. This is pretty good additions here, by the way. It never seems to fall this way. It's hard for these mock drafters to go 7.
Oh, yeah.
When they go 7 rounds, buddy, they're throwing you a guy in round 5 who's going to go in round 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You get all excited. Oh, I'm going to get this guy in round 4. Yeah, sure you are. All right, 2 4th-round picks, at least in the 7-rounder. It's a receiver from Stanford, Elik Ayamanor. I happened to see that guy a couple of times this year. Whatever. Find the right guy. Again, this is another example. There's talent down there that's going to be really flashy for somebody. Flash for us, man. And let's see, their second, 4th-round pick, it's an edge rusher from Central Arkansas. So just a little bit of how they're thinking in line with the Jags on mock draft. These mock drafts, again, they're silly once you get out of the first 2 rounds because so much of what these guys are forecasting has already been completely thrown out of whack by just, it's the wrinkle effect. If you got a mock draft, if the 15 picks you miss in round 2 are going to screw up everything in round 3, 4, 5, and everywhere else on down the line as far as the projected accuracy. So there's that. All right. Well, I was somewhat surprised and certainly very happy when I asked ET to pull up the numbers from this week's Brunch with the Tour to find out that none of us goons took Justin Thomas.
Right.
And he's been playing good, right? What did we say about Thomas when he shot that 61 in the opening round? I said, man, he's had these, crazy good rounds. He's set 3 course records in the last 2 years on PGA Tour, but he just doesn't win. Well, he changed that. Changed that with a playoff victory yesterday. Man, it goes fast. Look, when I said, he does well, he just doesn't win. You know how long it had actually been since Justin Thomas won a golf tournament?
No.
3 years. Doesn't that seem longer?
It does.
Yeah, 3 years. The tour right now is, man, there's a lot of good golfers on this planet. Yeah, I would say that I think it's harder to win on PGA Tour. Even with the live defections, it's harder to win on PGA Tour now than it ever has been in the history of the tour. I really do believe that. Only because there are more and more guys that can bottle it for a week or 2 and play as good as anyone in the world. There used to be a time where either that number 1 player in the world was so good no one could do that, or those chasing weren't good enough to ever be considered in that category. No one considers Justin Thomas to be in that top 3 to 5 list of bangers, but at his best, he can beat any of them anytime. Like, right, Scotty Scheffler? That, 4 or 5 shot shellacking you took this weekend. Another top 10, but still waiting on a Scheffler victory. But Justin Thomas breaks a long drought. He wins a playoff with Andrew Novak, who I would have pegged for being from Sweden, but apparently he's a South Carolinian. But he couldn't win his first PGA Tour title there on home turf. All right. I'm just going to say this about the Bravesy.
Okay.
Despite my mercurial barometric rise and fall here, as I communicate my frustrations with the Braves, no one knows them better than I do, E.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, no one knows what they're going to do, who they are, how they'll respond. I know team generic here. I know they'll turn it around. That's why I wouldn't make the silly bet with Hicken, even though it's not going to come in. They're not going to be 500 by the 34th game. But you know what I did yesterday, E.T.?
What's that?
I said, let me just look. Let me look at the rest of the first half schedule. And I did what we do on Jaguar games. I went down this game. They'll lose. They'll shoot. They'll get swept here. They'll win 2 out of 3 here. They'll, this stretch they'll do this. They'll take 4 of these 6. Yada yada. And I mark it all the way down because one thing about the Braves to this point is they played the Phillies and the Padres and the Dodgers. They played good teams. Now they've gotten their butts kicked, but they played good teams. And And I tracked it, and I predicted it all the way down through, E. So if anyone wants to just take a nap until the All-Star break and find out if the Braves are going to be buyers or sellers in the second half, I'll just go ahead and tell you that at the All-Star break, the Braves are going to be 55 and 53. Huh? How's that for speculation?
Sheesh.
Yeah. Is that a little too specific for you?
Man.
You want to write that down?
It's barely 500.
Yeah, you're right. It's barely 500. You're right. Are you aware that they were 8 games under 500 a couple of days ago? So, yeah, barely over 500 is playing at a 10-game over 500 pace to get where they're trying to go. I had them. You want to know the truth? I had them at 56 and 52 and called myself a homer and said, nah, I gave them one too many somewhere and backed it off to 55 and 53. Now, the question is that going to be enough to make you a buyer at the deadline? Let me tell you who's going to be a lot better than 55 and 53. The Mets, the Phillies, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, probably the Diamondbacks, probably the Cubs or the Brewers. So we'll see. You know, Strider, they can at least go Strider, Schwellenbach, Sale, and eliminate all these daggum excuses. Look, you wish you had Lopez. You wish you had Fried. You know, you wish you hadn't let him go. About threw a no-hitter for the Yankees yesterday. If you haven't been following Fried, his ERA is like 1. He's undefeated. Nice move, Atlanta. You're listening to The Drill. We got a football fix when we return. It's the Monday Morning Quarterback booming at you live inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
The Drill. From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Atlanta Braves won their third straight, beating Minnesota 6-2 yesterday. Spencer Schwalbenbach on the mound today for the Braves. $1.85 favorite against Eric Padilla. The Cardinals plus 154, 8.5 under at Truist Park. Tampa Bay Lightning $1.12 favorite against the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers tomorrow at Amalie Arena. 5.5 under the total. That's game 1 of their first round Stanley Cup playoff series. Jacksonville Jaguars have the 5th pick when the NFL draft gets underway on Thursday from Green Bay. Position of the first player drafted for Jacksonville, minus 130, a defensive lineman or an edge rusher for the Jags. $250 bonus and you open up a G-Bank Visa signature card. Visa.com/G-Bank. With your action update, Mike Sennett, 1010XL.
Plumbing problem? AC acting up? Septic tank trouble? Don't waste time calling 3 different companies. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. We offer plumbing, septic, and air conditioning services, making it easy for you to work with one trusted company and one simple build. Every department has highly skilled experts trained for the job. For fast, reliable service from a company that does it all the right way, call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com.
When you think of America, you think baseball, cookouts, military, and pride for our country. At Garber Auto Mall, we're proud to carry every American-made truck at one location. Ford, Chevy, GMC, Ram, and Jeep. With the largest inventory selection in North Florida, you can shop with one salesperson. Garber Auto Mall is proud to support our country, our military, and our community. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. Garber Auto Mall. Proud to be American.
It's here. Beard's Diamond's first ever massive sale on all diamond stud earrings and all tennis bracelets. Now through Sunday at 4 p.m. Save 20%, 30%, even 40%. Beautiful diamond stud earrings and gorgeous diamond tennis bracelets. Perfect for any occasion. Take advantage of huge markdowns. Best prices ever. Corporate-owned big box stores could never offer this extreme value, but locally owned Beards can. And it's happening now through Sunday. Up to 40% off. Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. you've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
She's seen and heard all over 1010XL's video and social channels.
Whether the big cats are at the bank or on the road, I'm there too. Follow my updates all season long, on air and online.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
ET here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find Scratch Kitchen that always comes in the clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktail shots, and more. Come on, somebody.
Beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority booking by calling our heroes at Zero Res. This month, get Zero Resified from Jacksonville's #1 carpet cleaner. You'll get 25% off all cleaning services. That's right, 25% off. Check out 8,000 raving customer reviews if you don't believe me online. Call them, 904-287-5727, or visit their website, ZeroResJacksonville.com. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. Hi, this is Lisa the Botanista with a special invitation. Are you tired of scrolling through other people's boating adventures? Are you sick of liking your friends' posts out of jealousy when you see them on the water? Are you finally ready to cure the FOMO for Florida's greatest pastime, boating? Then I'd like to invite you to visit the Freedom Boat Club at the boat show and see what this Boating Made Simple is all about. We handle the cleaning, maintenance, storage, and all the hassles of an entire fleet in Jacksonville, Jacksonville Beach, and St. Augustine. You join the club and use the boats whenever you want. You can also go boating at over 350 locations across the U.S., Canada, and Europe. From water sports and cruising to inshore and offshore fishing, we've got you covered. We even include unlimited one-on-one water training for every membership, so you gain the confidence you need at the helm to have fun. See us at the boat show this month to learn about Boating Made Simple and receive a special discount on membership and start creating your own memories on the water. Visit us at freedomboatclub.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we're back. It's the Monday Morning Quarterback. What's been the best Jaguars draft ever? SI.com took a stab at that for all teams, really, but I'll tell you where the Jags landed here in just a second. We got a football fix coming up in just one bit. First, though, a Daily's Double Take brought to you by The Dash. Pure deliciousness, fresh ground coffee. There's a Dash around the corner just about wherever you are this morning. I like to sometimes pull off the trifecta. I'll go breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'm not scared.
Dang.
Yeah. It's about time for a sandwich of the month, by the way. I need to call my folks over there.
That sounds good, right?
Yeah, I know. Here's what happens. We've been previewing the sandwich of the month like the very first day of the month or the day before the month that's coming up, and it leaves us with this big long drought. You know, I'm ready to go. Let's get to May, man. May Day on the sandwich front. So, trust the Daily's Dash. Pure, fresh deliciousness at every stop. This ain't gas station food. A double take at the incredible staying power of wrestling. Stuff doesn't last this long, E. These things don't. These things come and go. Boxing has died and wrestling has lived on. Think about that,
right?
And I know that the UFC is so popular. Is it more popular than wrestling?
No, I don't know
It's
about
not.
that.
Somehow this WWE, and man, you don't want to know where the bodies are buried in the slime of that organization through the years. But at the end of the day, you marvel at the business model. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
They held WrestleMania 41 last night, or this weekend. I got me a new TV service, so the pay-per-view is all on there. And
for real?
Yeah, so I watched a little bit of the WrestleMania on Saturday night. Not enough. I mean, just to soak in the flash and just to see. But I was amazed. Bro, Allegiant Stadium there in Vegas filled. 66,000 people showing up to see scripted, choreographed, violent acrobatics.
You dare tell them that?
No, they know. It's amazing. It's so surreal to me. The best part of it is this. The part that, again, the Daily's double take. The part that is so amazing to me is It's this level of pretense that goes beyond the acted out athletic acrobatics. We know that's not real. We know it's scripted. We know the dude didn't really pull a shank out of his tights and gouge that guy in the eye. We know that off the top rope was all an illusion. We know it's all fake. Yet, the match is NDT.
Huh?
And we go to the update nest to break it down. Key moment of the match, E. You know what it's like? It's like an episode of Law and Order goes off the air and CNN comes on and breaks down the case. It's amazing. More amazing. More for the double take. You're champion now. You're WWE champ.
Oh, yeah.
47-year-old John Cena.
You can't see me.
I mean, come on, man.
Oh, yeah.
They come rolling out 47-year-olds in jean shorts. That's the
jorts, man.
That's the standard for the baddest day in the world of wrestling right there. There you go. WrestleMania, 41 years, and as popular as ever. I can't believe it never died. It never did. These things, there have been things in American history that, roller derby. And like I said, somehow we live in a sports world where wrestling is more popular than ever and boxing died.
And what's crazy with wrestling, Jeff, it keeps re-peaking. Like, it'll hit a high, and then it just get higher and higher, man.
Yeah, fair. All right, fire the band. Let's give a few little NFL news and notes here. We call it a football fix. It's brought to you by Jacksonville Sharks. What happened at home over the weekend? We'll talk to Jason Gibson today.
They look good, though.
And those unis? Yeah, you sent me those photos. I didn't see those till this morning, so appreciate that. Maybe have to go a different direction, though. 0-1 in those threads.
Yeah.
Also by the home course, Joint Creek Golf Club, tee it high and let it fly. Well, there is this narrative around the Jaguars in that 5 pick. We've kind of become the wild card. I mean, you see suggestions of the Raiders taking Ginty. You've seen suggestions of them taking Shador Sanders in some recent mock drafts. So if you're lingering right there, the Jags at 5 are going to be the spot to hit. Whether or not the Jags have a guy they're so firm in, there's no way they're not running that pick up, or whether or not there's a duo or trio of players that they would almost just as much want a few picks later, that will decide it. But we'll see. There is so much speculation around these quarterbacks. They're very polarizing, and it feels like we're just trying to make them better than that scouts grade that has them down, in the 15s and 20s compared to the most recent prospects. And at the end of the day, it is alarming, and obviously it was wrong, that Kenny Pickett has a higher scouts grade than either one of these dudes heading into the draft night. So we'll see if that really matters. Probably not. More smoke to the Raiders and Ginty, their GM, saying he's a strong believer in drafting a running back. We know what Pete Carroll did with Marshawn Lynch. I can't imagine Ginty gets past the Raiders. So if somebody really loves him, again, back to the Jags and the wild card there at number 5. Seahawks say they're open rather to trading quarterback Sam Howell. So that didn't last long. Of course, the Seahawks signed what? Darnold? Is that where he landed with Seattle?
Yep.
This offseason. Jackson Dart continues to kind of fly up the draft boards, but he is one of a couple of guys that now have taken their name off the list of attendees. And maybe that is one of the teams that's drafting him, telling him, hey, don't go. I don't know. Or maybe he's kind of gotten the word or the feeling that perhaps he won't be a first rounder. That's Football Fix. You're welcome. Hicken and Rival more come your way next. It's look at the breakdown. John Cena's won his 17th title against Cody Rhodes. He went the breakdown this morning on Sports Center E. Back with more next.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Some people can't handle the truth.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
Some people only want the truth.
You want answers? I want the truth.
Rick Ballou.
And the truth.
The Truth Teller.
Shall set you free.
Evenings on 1010XL.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Get a healthy start in 2025. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to encourage you to get healthy and stay healthy this year. They have a dedicated team who are committed to providing quality care. The goal is to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Visit duval.floridahealth.gov to learn more about their health programs and services. That's duval.floridahealth.gov.
When it comes to your utility bill, JEA wants to help you use less so you can save more. We offer a variety of free programs, like efficiency and irrigation assessments that'll teach you ways to conserve energy and water around your home. Our alerts will let you know when your utility usage has reached a set amount, and our rebates can help you save when upgrading to more efficient appliances and equipment. Find even more ways to save at JEA.com.
Get the best soccer talk on the First Coast on the Coaches Show, presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburg, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Bailey discuss the beautiful game Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach, WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. Setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. Instant Keys, you don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. Johns County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Make the most of every lawn with Kubota commercial landscaping equipment.
From the productivity-boosting Z700 mower to the reliable SVL track loader, it's a lineup built to get the job done right. Because when your reputation is on the line, you need equipment that will never let you down. Visit Coastal Equipment in Jacksonville or McClenny.
Greater power for the great outdoors. Coastal Equipment.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
DUI? BUI? Don't stress. Call me Malcolm Anthony at 2854-LAW. That's 2854-LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
Hacker here, and guess what my scale reads? 195 pounds. I'm shocked seeing that number, but it's there every month. The weight is staying off after dropping 122 pounds. Absolutely life-changing. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by Duck Rooter Septic Plumbing and Air Conditioning. The Florida Gators baseball team had a productive weekend on the road, winning 2 out of their 3 games against Mississippi State in Starkville. In Game 1, Florida opened the series with a commanding 13-3 win in 8 innings, marking their highest run total in SEC play this season. With this series, Florida's overall record stands at 27-15, and their SEC record is at 6-12. The Gators will return home to face Georgia Southern on Tuesday at 6. The Jacksonville University Dolphins baseball team delivered an impressive performance over the weekend, sweeping their 3-game home series against Florida Gulf Coast University. The series against Florida... This marks JU's second consecutive Atlantic Sun Conference sweep and extends their winning streak to 5 games. JU stays at home tonight, hosting Bethune-Cookman at John Sessions Stadium. First pitch is set for 7. It's 68 degrees at 7 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Ladies and gents, please put your hands together as Dan Hicken enters the studio.
Downer. You know it! Yes, sir!
You just kept waiting for it to pep up, and it didn't get there.
I got a case of the moon days. That's all I can tell you.
He's in there chuckling, wondering what you're up to.
Oof. Good to be here.
Dang, you ain't like the selection this morning?
No.
No, it's
crazy, man.
Is this Young Joker?
No, man, it's Jay-Z and Eminem.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, wow.
Is this a hit song?
It was.
What is it called?
Renegade.
Yeah, let me give you a renegade. Oh, mama, I am here for the... That's renegade.
That sticks is renegade.
The jig is up, the news is out. They finally found me, the renegade who had it made. That's what we needed.
It's literally a song.
That one wins over Eminem and Jay-Z.
Oh, God.
Or Jay-Z and Eminem.
Oh, that's crazy.
Who gets first billing, Jay-Z?
Yeah, it was Jay's album. Yeah, Eminem was featured on it.
Yeah. You come back next segment with Styx Renegade and we'll try it again.
Man.
In fact, let's try it now. Let's start the show over. It's a Monday. People are down. We got draft week. We got to be pumped up. A lot of things are happening in sports. I mean, it's crazy right now what's going on in the world of sports. Dan, it's a downtime. It's not a downtime. The draft, we got the 5 pick. We got the Dreamfinders Danny poll question of the day.
It's all there.
I mean, it's all right in front of us, man. And we come in with... You
wildin', bro. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Ladies and gents, please put your hands together.
Give him what he needs.
Enters the studio.
Hold on.
Jump the script a little bit.
Hold on. Where is this thing?
You should have given the John.
There we go.
That's the renegade he's looking for. Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should have got this John Cena walking.
I'm a wanted man.
That was on the list, Jeff.
Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life. Yeah.
The long arm of the law.
This is how we rocked out.
Thank you, E.
It's more of that white boy stuff, E.
That Renegade song I played was such a hit, man.
Was it?
And so was it.
So was this one.
Yeah. I bet yours hit a higher,
probably.
Yeah, a higher spot.
Let's see.
That's suburban rock is what we call that back in the day. That's suburban rock. That's when you think you're hard as a little 14-year-old kid.
Better than yacht rock.
Yeah, a little better. A little different.
Diff.
Although I got to say, Renegade may make yacht rock.
It might make it.
It's toned down since
it might make
back in the day.
All right, it's good to be here. A lot going on. Draft week, as mentioned, getting going. Finally, Thursday night, the Jags will select. And it's clear everybody's saying that the first four are kind of set in stone now.
The fourth being Campbell?
Yeah. So, and that the Jags are sort of the wild card, and the three names you hear mentioned most are Graham, Genty, and Walker. So, with that said, right off the rip on a Monday morning of draft week, time to take the temp, Jags fans. And I like it. It's our Dream Finders Homes poll question of the day. Dream Finders Homes, the official home builder of the Jaguars. Which of these probable candidates would you pick with the Jags' 5th overall pick Thursday night? Now, look, there are options galore, but this is kind of where these are the kind of the names that we're hearing now. Might be right, might be wrong. Who knows? They might be, you don't know, but this is kind of all the buzz. And we hear the buzz about Tennessee. We hear the buzz about Cleveland. We hear the buzz about the Giants. We hear the buzz about New England. So we hear the buzz about the Jaguars. And these are the three names that sort of are mentioned over and over again. It's brought to you by Dream Finders Homes, the official home builder of the Jags. 4.99% fixed interest rate right now. In 15 different locations throughout the area.
15?
Yeah, 15. It's unbelievable.
Doesn't it feel like two of those are much safer than the third?
Yeah. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for all your information. Graham, Genty, Walker, or other. Graham, Genty, Walker, or other. Which of these probable candidates would you pick with the Jags' 5th overall pick?
Okay.
Just trying to see what everybody...
You're going to get a little bit of other. You're going to get those that would take Mimbo. You're going to get those that would take...
Mimbo!
You're going to get those... There are going to be a few that would take Warren, which would... But I just think Mason Graham's going to continue to lead here. Genty and having the ball in his hands will appeal to some. I don't think there's any chance they take Genty.
Okay, so who would you pick with a 5th?
I would take Walker.
You would take Walker. E, who would you take?
Man, this is tough because Jeff and I, we had a conversation this morning about those Georgia folk. That's kind of making me lean that way. But before that talk, Jeff also persuaded me about Mason Graham in the 5th pick. I don't know if I'd do that either. I think I would go with Genty.
Okay, well, it's very close. Mason Graham is right now with over 500 votes. Mason Graham is getting 39.7, and Ashton Genty's getting 38.3. Jalen Walker's getting 11.6, and others getting 10.4% of the vote. You can still vote if you haven't on social media.
I think Walker's probably the wild card, and only because he hasn't been mocked there as much. But, I mean, he's showing up 7 or 8 in most drafts. So it's not like that would be a reach, per se.
The one I keep reading about with Walker is Carolina. He's from Carolina.
And he's right, and they pick right after the Jags, I think, 7th maybe.
He played less than an hour away. His daddy was a football coach at one of the small schools up there.
He's kind of a tween. He's not a real big guy. He's kind of a tweener.
6'1", 243.
I will say this, though, to E's point. We were saying this, and inevitably there's going to be some misses, but those Georgia players have been hitting, Dan. Those defenders are coming in the league, and they're playing and contributing.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do. I mean, we talk about Jalen Carter up there, but Jordan Davis has been good for the Eagles, too. As much as we'll forever think Hutchins should have been the pick, Trayvon Walker's been a dog. He's been a good player, right? I mean, he's gotten better. So those Georgia guys, I don't know if there's, doesn't add a level of guarantee, but, man, they sure have hit.
Yeah.
The defenders. I mean, they've been coming in with some.
Yeah.
Living up to it.
It's hard to, Yeah.
So we'll see. Walker was more of an outlier when this thing started 6-8 weeks ago. I always thought that he was going to emerge at some point because it's such a need.
Well, we'll see what happens on Thursday. Thankfully, it's finally upon us.
The fact they did nothing on the interior of the line in free agency tells you that tackle's going to be a priority at some point.
Yeah.
Whether it's the 5th pick, we'll see. Like I said, I'll be okay with it. I just, me personally, I want to go. I'd go Graham 3rd, even though I don't want Genty per se. I would take those other 2.
Yeah, it'll be. I don't know. Like I said, you gotta believe in the hierarchy, and the new regime gets.
I couldn't imagine they would take Genty 5. I mean, if you're listening to what they're saying down there, I couldn't imagine.
It would be surprising.
Yeah, of all of them, that seems the most far-fetched. I do like this, though. There are a lot of speculation that the Raiders at 6 are Genty, some that's Shedeur Sanders. So if you're sitting there 7 to 10 and you want one of those guys, just come on up.
Yeah.
And then we can get it, maybe even one of those dudes without.
Yeah.
Still, rather.
The only thing with Genty is and again, there are other running backs, obviously, but the thought in my mind of Brian Thomas Jr. and Genty gets me.
No, I get that.
The juices flowing as a fan.
Sure.
It may not be what's best for the organization, though. That's where
it's super dangerous, though, for folks to because Saquon Barkley right now is the trigger.
Right.
Because he was so good. Well, I'll remind folks that the Giants took
Didn't win
Saquon Barkley
squat.
3. Right. Yeah. Saquon Barkley did this 6 years, 2 injuries, and a second team later.
Yeah.
So I just, and I also, it's so hard, by the way, for the first time. Like in the past, we knew what they thought of who they had.
Mm-hmm.
They showed us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about him. And now we just don't, I don't know what they think of Bigsby and ETN. I just don't know.
Speaking of first-round picks, just a very sad mugshot.
Yeah, I saw that. Justin Black. Gosh, only 35. He looks 50.
Looks terrible.
Yeah, he's puffy and bloated and just can't get off the alcohol, man.
Can't do it.
I mean, it's just so
just sad. It's just sad. That's all there's.
He was a nice kid, a sweet kid.
We can forget about this, that. Ultimately, it's a sad story.
He can't have any money left, by the way.
Kid who lost. I mean, literally would have made $100 million if he just didn't drink.
He was
$100 million.
He was really, really good. If he's clean, sober, and targeted, I believe he would have been the best receiver in Jaguars history, including Jimmy Smith. He was unreal.
Yeah.
His college numbers were he won the Biletnikoff, by the way, in back-to-back years. Both years with 1,800 yards and 20 touchdowns plus. He beat, they upset some teams with title hopes back in the day, too. Oklahoma or Texas Tech or others. So,
man, you look at his picture of when he played.
And now it just,
the picture of him in his mugshot.
It's not good.
Man, oh, man. That's a guy who just, hasn't stopped, I don't think. It's sad. It's a sad story anyway. I feel badly for him. I know I don't feel, whatever. It is what it is. To me, it's a sad story.
Yeah.
It's a sad story.
It for sure is. And this isn't something that he's going to prison for life, but at some point, man, if you could just get it together.
Yeah.
What's Matt Jones doing, by the way?
I don't know.
He went off to Arkansas. I think is he part of their broadcast team, maybe?
I think he did radio for a while. I don't know if he's still doing it. I don't know. Yeah,
probably meeting somebody behind the Walmart in an hour. That's probably what's going on with Matt Jones.
Oh, dear. Oh, no.
All right. Rest in peace. We lost to Pope. They've shut down Italian soccer, obviously. That
the Pope passed on Easter Sunday.
Yeah. I think he made it overnight into Monday. I'm not positive. But, nonetheless, will now go into the conclave, Dan. The conclave. It's a good time to watch that Oscar-nominated film, Conclave. You can get a view inside the politics.
Smoke.
Yeah, we wait for it, right? The Billows of Smoke. Yeah. I don't know who the, not being Catholic, I've never followed the Pope history and, who's in line next or any of those things. To me, the Pope will always be Pope John Paul. That's the first one I remember as I was growing up. That's what I picture a Pope being in my head. And did he maybe last longer than most, Dan?
A lot of popes, man.
In my lifetime, how many? We've had 8 in the last 12 years, it feels like. They've come and gone a lot. But, it feels like Pope John Paul was there for 20, 30 years. He was like the Queen Elizabeth of popedom of my life.
Was he?
I feel that way. I could be dead wrong.
Yeah.
And there may have been two Pope John Pauls that looked kind of alike back to back when I was a kid. There he goes. This is the papal registry right here.
I mean, you got to go through a lot because Pope's been around since 30.
30 for real?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. I knew it forever. I didn't know it was 30.
Been around a long time, man.
Wasted no time.
A lot of popes. You know how we've had 47
7:35 a.m. Italian time.
You know,
so it was today, the day after Easter.
47 presidents or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 47th Pope was Saint Simplicius in the year 468.
That's 468. Wow.
Yeah.
So how many popes have we literally had? 1,000?
I'm working my way down.
Yeah,
here.
working my way back to you, babe.
Yeah. Here we go. 266. Let's see. Pope St. Paul, 63 to 78.
Okay.
St. Paul the 6th.
Okay. And then it's
John Paul I, 78 to 78. He went 33 days.
And then John Paul II? Or no?
And John Paul II went 78 to 05.
See, that's the one. That's my Queen Elizabeth. That's the one I think of. Yeah, see,
that was the Polish guy.
That's 30 years almost.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one. Like if you watch Naked Gun, that's the
78 to 05.
Yeah, so that's the one. That's
and
that
we had
was right.
Pope Benedict 05 to 13.
That was longer than I would have thought.
Pope Francis 13 to 25.
That's it. We only had 2 since John Paul.
That the one who just passed?
Yeah, Francis just passed.
Pope Francis.
Wow. We blew that one.
Argentine citizen.
Here we are saying there's been 8 in the last 12 years. Been 2.
Wow, 2.
That surprises me. I thought there was another dude in there for like a hot minute.
Well, there's one guy had the 33 days.
Yeah, I
That
know,
was
but
in the
that
70s.
I mean more recently.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway, we've caught you up on that as well. Did you have a good holiday?
200
Good weekend? What'd you do?
266 popes. We had a good weekend. Family together, hanging out yesterday.
Sure.
Easter Sunday, little Cheester, little
Sure.
church.
Yeah, good.
Little.
Yeah, church was packed.
Yeah,
I told y'all.
Good time.
Heads up.
Good time. We just did it at the house.
Ironically, somehow
house.
we go to church almost every Sunday. Somehow we weren't at church yesterday.
No,
make it make sense.
Took Easter off.
No, we had a lot of. Well, we had just anyway. Some stuff happened. We had a culinary mishap late Saturday night for Mrs. P and what she had to get ready.
Oh no, a culinary mishap.
Well,
You
we
gotta
cooked
recook.
basically like a rancid pork butt, not knowing. It came out of the oven and completely unready. It just threw the whole thing into chaos. So I don't know what to tell you, dude. I just do what she says.
Well, we did the same type
And
of
then
thing. It
went
wasn't
down
a-
to the in-laws.
It wasn't a culinary chaos. It was, and I don't know why we keep doing this. It's not good for the marriage, and yet
30 for me tomorrow, Chief. 30. 3-0.
But yet we continue to do this, and that is the wife had purchased some chairs.
Okay.
For the outside.
You're at at your house?
Yeah, and she
Okay.
said to me,
Big group? What kind of group we talking about?
No, it wasn't
a small group. Just your immediate.
Yeah.
Okay.
The kids. and-
Okay. You didn't have all her decide because you do that sometimes.
No. Oh, no. Yeah. So
I like when Hicken. I thought it was actually maybe Easter where he ends up getting stuck with some huge bill of like 30 family members.
Nah,
that's not an Easter thing.
Nah.
Okay.
So she said to me, "Let's get the chairs done tomorrow."
Okay.
I said, "Okay." This is Friday night. So Saturday morning, I get up, I unpack the chairs, I start attacking the chairs by myself.
Okay.
Put together.
The worker bee.
Which again, if you know me, is not an easy task.
Well, are they just ready? Are they fold? They're not just folding chairs? or-
No, these are assemble chairs. She had told me that I read the reviews. Everybody says,
Oh, they're brand new out of the box chairs.
Yes.
Oh, God.
She told
This
me-
is a disaster. He's
Yeah.
terrible at this stuff.
She told me they're easy. She told me easy peasy. All the reviews say they're easy. Okay.
Sure. How many do we have, by the way?
2 chairs.
Oh, just 2?
2. 2 little chairs that, you sit and you can spin in them, rotate
Nice.
around, just sit outside. Nice chair. Okay. I get all the pieces. I put everything together.
It's always so much more than it looks like it's
I look
gonna
at
be.
the book of directions, and it's an 11-stepper. 11 steps is immediately not
Turns on the
in my
antlers.
wheelhouse. So I
The
dive into
antennas.
step 1, which probably took me good 30, 45 minutes, and I start doing the math, and I'm like, this is going to be a day long. We got baseball here at about noon. We're gonna have to hightail it. So she comes out with a big smile on her face, and let me help you. And this is where things always go badly.
100%.
And yet we continue to do it.
Yeah.
I am willing to
Certain
pay.
things need to be there need to be separation of powers in a marriage. On certain
I am
things.
willing.
You're
I
just
am
gonna
like,
annoy each
look,
other.
sweetie, let's
Yeah.
just pay somebody $100, fix these chairs up. I'll do it, man.
Oh my God.
It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. And anyway,
The
that
frustration. How much would you pay for the lack of? Because you just start to get angrier and angrier. Let me tell you what happened. I am terrible at this part of it.
Yeah.
I can't understand the the
pictures.
illustration.
Yeah, they're terrible.
It looks all sideways.
Terrible.
You're confusing me more than you're showing me anything. And inevitably, I'll do something. It'll be great. It'll work. And then I'll realize at the very end, after it's all put together, I did one little thing wrong. Wait, that's not supposed to be upside down.
And it throws the whole
And
thing
you gotta
off.
take it all apart.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, you're supposed to.
We're dumb people. We don't make bones.
I'm
yeah.
no good at it.
Yeah, we don't put on
It's
airs.
not my wheelhouse.
Sure.
I can tell you about the Mets and the Cardinals.
You bet.
But I ain't going to be able to help
Sure.
you with these chairs.
Yeah, that's fair.
So anyway, we muddled through. Eventually, I don't know if they're done yet or not. One of them is, one of them's not. I don't know. Something like that.
Well, so she makes this big, huge roast that ends up taking like hours longer. It's about 10 o'clock on Saturday night where it finally comes out. And, inevitably, after it cools, you got to do this. You got to do the taste test. Hubby needs to taste it. And so
Something's
puts
wrong.
them off. And, it's like, it's just not right. It's, I don't want to say gooey. That's too gross.
Right.
It just doesn't look what like a pulled pork butt should look like.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it kind of strange. And then I say something to her. And then I accuse her of trying to poison me. And it's a whole big to-do. I know you did this on purpose. You looked at this rancid meat and you fed it to me.
No.
And so anyway, and then I caught a stomach bug this weekend. I'm not saying it's related. So yeah, and then so we just threw it away. So yeah.
Oh boy.
Don't go dumpster diving any big pork butts. It's be a mistake.
All right.
And it not on her. It was all on it was weird.
These are the travails
Like
of
it
our
looked
lives.
okay on the outside. I was there, rubbing it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, this is the situations
This
that
happens.
we
30
have.
years for me tomorrow, ET. 30
30 of them
years.
things. Sheesh.
3-0.
Yeah.
Where are you coming on? 25 or so? 20? What are you at?
No, we're past 20. We're 22. Going to 23.
You just had
next-
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done 22 years.
Good for you.
of,
8 more, friend. Let me know.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we got going. We got a lot to talk about. We got the 10-minute drill coming up, more on the draft.
Had Fred today?
Huh?
Fred
Freddie
today?
T. Make his pick. All kinds of things happening. We'll talk about it when we come back. But man, oh man, the Icemen. Gosh, there's no bigger thorn in the side than the Everblades.
Yeah, 2-0 is it?
2 overtime games.
Oh.
Good gracious.
So is it 3 of 5 or 5 of?
It's 4 of 7.
4 of 7. I mean,
But-
yeah. All right. Well, they need those two.
Got
at
to
home.
win 4 out of 5.
When, are they home tonight? When are they home? That's coming
they're
up.
home Wednesday.
Yeah. Well,
All right, this is the drill on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Downtime with Dan is serviced by the local family-owned company for home comfort and your statewide mechanical partner for the biggest projects, Lloyd's Heating and Air.
Well, I tried to give the NBA playoffs a little look-see, but man, oh man, we had a bunch of duds, minus the Nuggets-Clippers game. Hey, Memphis, don't bother showing up if you're going to give that kind of effort. You can't get beat by 51 points in the playoffs. 51 points. Think about that for a second. And it was a 50-point lead in the third quarter. And OKC, everybody's looking for who's going to win. Who's going to win? Is it going to be the Lakers? Is it going to be the Celtics? Is it going to be the number 1 seed Cavs? Nobody talks about OKC. They've been the best team all year long, have the biggest margin of victory, et cetera, et cetera. Young Cats, really good team, a lot of depth. That's a team to watch for. I mean, to me, they're the favorites in the entire NBA. OKC and Memphis, they're not even going to show up.
There are 50 states and thousands of cities in this country, and you live in the best one.
Yeah!
We're loving it here, too.
Turn up the heat!
1010XL.
Jeff Prosser here for Lloyd's Heating and Air. Need a leader for commercial, retail, multifamily, or hospitality projects? Or top-tier residential service? No gimmicks, no mascots, just real expertise and hard work. As your trusted statewide mechanical partner and local family-owned team, Lloyd's is the name Northeast Florida counts on. Visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
Hey, Hicken here. You're tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses, retractive lens exchange, and, of course, classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's much easier than you think. Call now and get that free screening. It's Bowden & Associates, and they're keeping the First Coast focused.
I'm just going to to cut to the chase. What you really want to know is, why buy from Arlington Toyota? Mia here. How about over 800 vehicles, one lot, 60-day exchange, and friendly credit for everyone. Plus, right now, you choose a pre-owned 2022 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for $0 and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till August 2025? Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter-mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. For over 5 decades, a true American band. This is America. Encore Tour 2025, an unforgettable evening with America. April 23rd, Florida Theater. On sale now at floridatheater.com. America, live in concert. Produced by Outback Presents.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Poker players, the Run Good Poker Series is coming to Best Bet Jacksonville from April 24th to May 4th with 10 poker events, including the $1,200 main event, hosting a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool, and event number 1, a $400 no-limit hold'em tourney with a $200,000 guarantee. The action is non-stop. One in, win your seat through satellite starting April 4th at Best Bet Jacksonville. For all the Run Good Series structures and details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
It's heating up at Ride Now Jacksonville. Get water adventure ready with the 2024 Yamaha AR195 boat. With its supercharged engine, innovative design, and water sports features, the Yamaha AR195 is ready for anything you throw at it. Originally $46,000, now just $36,000. Oversized in-floor storage for wakeboards and extra gear, deck and hull design that maximizes space, comfort, and versatility like no other 19-foot boat. Ride Now Jacksonville on Blanding Boulevard. We'll meet or beat any price on all 2024 and prior models.
He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe he's got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
What are the only 2 states that do not observe daylight saving time? The answer next.
Having the right homeowner's policy protection means you're staying on top of your most valuable possession, your home. For information on finding an agent, go to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The only 2 states that currently do not observe daylight saving time are Arizona and Hawaii.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Man, don't let your yard be torn up by that heavy aeration machine this spring. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to learn more about our granular aeration, broadcast throughout the tree and shrubs to break up that compacted soil. Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. If you're going to buy an engagement ring, how much should you spend?
Frank, that's a question we hear a lot, and the guideline most often used is the equivalent of 2 months' salary. But I'll say this. The price you pay for a diamond is directly related to its beauty. If you want a big, cheap diamond, I'll guarantee you it's poor quality, and that's not what we carry at Underwoods. If you want a diamond of fine quality, cut to the right specifications for maximum beauty, not maximum weight, that's the kind of diamond we have at Underwoods. You see, when somebody's been married for a long time, they don't always remember what they paid for their engagement ring. They probably remember the sacrifice they made to pay for it. And when you consider that a diamond engagement ring will be worn every day for the rest of her life, most people will agree that a really fine quality diamond ought to be considered. That's what we specialize in at Underwoods and have since 1928.
That's Underwoods in San Marco, in Avondale, the shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performancepainting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by
Advanced Business Solutions.
your local authorized Xerox dealer on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. Yeah. We want to rock right now. It's live inside the sportsmanonly.com studios.
The last time the New York Mets swept the St. Louis Cardinals 4 games, Jeff, was in 1986. A very good year.
Wow. If you soften them up for us now, I'm sure they'll come in with
I like that.
Nice little attitude for their series with the Braves. I'm sure they'll take 2 out of 3 there.
They got that one dude, Donovan, been hitting like crazy, man. He would always
for the Redbirds.
For the Redbirds, Brandon Donovan.
Always like the Cardinals uniforms.
Yeah,
but I hate the Cardinals.
That was a nice. That was some good baseball, fun games this week. Nice. I enjoyed that. Yeah.
The only thing that was accomplished on my end is I told you on Friday, if they don't sweep the Twins, the season's over. So I guess the season didn't end. We got that much going for us. So
yeah,
it's hashtag fire Snitker is where I'm at.
Yeah, we got a little problem with Acuna there. Acuna
it's not
was
a problem. Acuna's right.
He was right.
He's right. Snitker's got to go. And his fumbling press conference explaining the whole thing, it all boiled down to I didn't see it. You're the manager. What are you watching exactly?
Either I didn't see it or I'm going to use this excuse if I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't see
Kellenic for that goober.
Yeah.
Why does he get any grace at all? It's terrible.
All right.
I guess we've called in Alex Verdugo to save the season. So appreciate Alex Verdugo. 3-0 with Verdugo hitting 350.
Verdugo.
So there we go. When the story's written at the end, thank God for Alex Verdugo. Just wandering around out there in free agent land.
I think the big one for you guys was you were down 4-0 earlier, like Friday,
Saturday night. Yeah. That saved the season. I gave up on that game. It was 4-1 going to the eighth, and they scored 5 in the 8th. I don't know, somehow. Hit a little bit yesterday. They got the 3 pitchers back. I mean, how effective they're going to be, we'll see. But Strider, Schwellenbach, and Sale ought to give you a chance to win,
Well, Sale's been ineffective since the start of the year. So
I mean, he's not terrible. He's just not Cy Young.
I don't know. He's been pretty terrible. He's like ERA's like over 5, isn't it? I mean, he's given up 4 runs in the last 5 innings. That ain't that ain't what an ace is supposed to do.
No, for sure.
Max Fried had a no-hitter taken away from him, though, by an official scorer. I mean,
that lost a little punch because they ended up getting another hit. But if so, that would have been brutal. There was another terrible call in there because they're in a spring training minor league stadium. The foul poles aren't high enough.
You can't tell the homer. That's the same in Sacto, by the way. After I watched the Mets there, they have short foul poles, and you can't tell.
Yeah, and judges, you didn't need a tall foul pole to see that was a home run and to review it and not get it. I get Aaron Boone losing his mind. Y'all are terrible. Where's Hunter Wintelstead? Go stand out there where that ball landed.
Fried was hitless through 7 innings, about to throw his first pitch of the 8th, and then the official scorekeeper announced he changed the decision to a hit. He looked at several video replays and determined the kid who hit the ball is the fastest kid in baseball.
It was a hit.
He was going to beat it out.
It was a hit. The problem is, why didn't you just call it a hit? That's the problem.
Frustrating.
You shouldn't. And in fact, I don't think they do this a lot. And I've seen them give hits and then go back, change to an error, and keep no hitters in play. I've seen that before also. But I don't like it. I call it. Wait a few minutes if you have to. Look at the angles before you make the official call. You shouldn't be able to go back and change it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think. But Fried's been terrific, man, and just the fact that that they don't sign him, it's just disgusting.
Yeah.
We're cheap. Like I said, look, I played out that we're going to be 55 and 53 at the break. Is that enough to be a buyer?
The Fried one was more of a decision to me, and I agree with you that you're cheap. But the Fried one was more of a decision that we think we've seen the best of this guy.
Well, they're afraid of the injuries, and in fairness to Fried, it is going to chafe my thighs
if he stays healthy.
If he makes 35 starts, I'm going to send him a big middle finger, because for us, it's about time for Fried's forearm soreness to show up and be shelved for a month. That's the problem with Fried.
Yeah, I get it.
I have developed, though, somewhat of a baseball crush on a team that is now definitively my second favorite team. I get a wandering eye when my team starts struggling, Hick. I got to find something that that's worth watching, that I like to watch. Would you like to guess my second favorite team in baseball? I've hinted around it maybe a few times. I'm not sure you'll get it, though. Would you like to try? I will say I'll give you a hint.
You kind of mischaracterized Fried. He only had 1 year where he had 14 starts in 23. Last year he had 29. The year before 30, 28.
Missing time and hurt and it being a question the whole way. Yeah, he only missed time, but I'm telling you, he missed a month last year at some point, and we worried about it. Doc Murphy said he's going to have Tommy John, remember?
Yeah.
Forearm soreness, tightness. So I don't know how many starts he made last year. He wasn't at his premium for sure. And there've been that. It's not so much, Hick, to your point, that he's missed a ton of time.
Yeah.
It's that he's always had a flare, man. It's, and you worry about, the problem is, though, Freed's only probably 31. Let him tear it, have Tommy John, and have him in 2 years then. I hate giving that up. I always hated it.
Yeah.
What about my team, though? You know who it is? I'll give you one hint.
Mm-hmm.
You know it can't be a National League team.
Yeah.
So that narrows the field. And the second one, if you paid attention, I think you have the minimal attention you pay to me. I've lusted enough that you may have picked up on who's my favorite non-Brave. Who do I have a man crush on? Who's my favorite non-Brave? Do you know who it is?
Mm-mm. I don't know who this is.
The player is Seager and the team are the Rangers. They're easy to watch. That's an easy watch for me. That's an easy pull. I like their team.
Yeah. Well, they're in first place. Yeah. They're 13-9 and doing just fine. And a game ahead of the Mariners and then the Angels and then the Astros. And the Astros are another team that you sit there and you go, man, they lost. You think about the guys that they lost. I was watching them a little bit last night. Is the Pod Squad, who's very impressive, by the way. The National League is so much better than the American League. So many more good teams in the National League.
Well, I was going through when I said I've literally done this exercise like it's a Jaguar season, and I looked at the Braves schedule until the All-Star break. They're going to be 55 and 53. Is that good enough to be a buyer? Because then I rattled off the teams in the National League. They're going to be more than 2 games above 500 at that point. It was like 8 teams.
Well, I mean the Mets, the Phillies,
those 2. You got all 4 in the West. That's 6, and either or or both of Chicago and Milwaukee.
Maybe the Reds.
Not way over 2 games over 500, but 55 and 53, in the context of 0-7 is okay, but in the context of where you are in a cheap ownership group, are you really going to make moves at the deadline? I don't know.
But like I said,
DeGrom's made 4 starts, huh?
The Padres, the Dodgers, and now the Giants are playing good baseball. The Diamondbacks, I think, are better than the Giants, but, regardless, those 4, like you said, and there's some good baseball teams. Then you go to the American League, and you're just not
It's hard to believe in the Central. Like, whoever comes out of there, Detroit, Cleveland,
Yeah. And then,
Cleveland's got a good baseball squad. It doesn't matter who they give up or who goes off. I think the Naylor brother, they just fill it in and contend.
Yeah. But anyway, just early. 20 games in. But
the Braves got a sweep that keeps their season alive. The Mets got a sweep that extends their lead in the East. So there you have it.
The Gators took 2 out of 3, but they really needed to sweep. And
they got back in that late. I watched a good 10 minutes of Gator baseball.
Their pitching let them down yesterday. They're
the ninth. I mean,
I just don't think they're going to be good. Look, they have a path. Again, they have a path. They're 6-12, and I don't agree with this, as you know, but 13-17 will get you in. Okay, they're 6-12. That's 7-5, but they play. Now, they play Arkansas at home, and they really need to find a way to get 2 out of 3. They go to South Carolina, to Texas, and Alabama. Those are the 4 left. That's 3, 6, 9, 12 games left. They have 6 wins. They got to get 7 wins. It's doable, but yesterday would have been a good one to grab.
Well, it was 9-5 when I clicked it on the 8th, and I watched them rally.
2 home runs.
Yeah, they got it to 9-8, and then the guy came in the bottom of the 8th and he gave up 5.
Correct.
And, so I just assumed they limped out in the 9th. I lost track. I'm terrible about this, man. I missed the end of the golf. I flipped to something else and I forget what I'm watching. The end of regulation. I saw the playoff. Somehow no one took JT. We take JT. We overdraft JT in Brunch with the Tour every week. We take JT. This week, no one took JT.
Florida State 29-7, 11-4 in conference. They didn't have games this weekend because of the shooting on campus. So actually saw a couple of the Florida State kids at our JUCO game this weekend.
Huh.
That's what you do when you're a baseball player. You go watch baseball.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's just what you do.
And even if you're not a baseball player,
but
like we go watch baseball.
Yeah, they're very good. So anyway, we'll see. Yeah, back to the golf. JT finally breaks through.
It's hard to believe it's been 3 years because he's contended so much. I saw he's had 5 top 5s and 16 top 10s since he won.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, so I mean, he's around. He's been around. He's had some good rounds. He hadn't been able to tie it together. I will say this: when you get to these playoffs, it very rarely that the guy coming it beats the star.
It is tough. Andrew Novak is a good story, though. He's kind of on the upswing.
For sure. I thought he was Swedish this whole time. Turns out he's South Carolinian.
He went to Wofford.
Yeah.
He was not very good his sophomore year. I think he averaged like 74 at Wofford. He turned pro in 2017.
Wow.
He went to Canada, 5 of 11 cuts. Thought that he had the driver yips, but he played with a cracked driver. Got his Korn Ferry Tour card through Q School, 5 of 15 cuts his first year there. 138th in points, went back to Q School, made it through all 3 stages, got his card back. 1 top 10, 62nd in points. Next year, won the 5th KFT event in the COVID super season, 10 top 10s. So he's getting better each year, right? Got his PGA Tour card, 156 his first year on the tour. But when all the guys left for LIV, he kept the conditional card, top 150, 105th in points next year, 86th last year. Now he's a runner-up and he's 15th in points.
He had another.
It is a steady climb.
Yeah, well, he's hot right now.
Yeah.
He
Don't know how much he can climb.
No,
but nonetheless.
This is his little window. Where
good for him, though.
He just did this a couple weeks ago. He contended somewhere. He was in the top 5. It was a factor down the stretch. I would tend to think he's in a real good groove right now. He's hot. And I'm not,
It's a good story, though.
For sure.
Yeah.
The tour is full of them, and that's what's compelling about the PGA Tour versus the other tours. And you got to fight your way.
If you start thinking about it for just a second, on the PGA Tour, we had Henley beating Morikawa at Bay Hill, right? We had Rory winning a playoff at the Players, which was great. We had Hovland beating JT at Valspar. Unbelievable. Great finish. Minwoo over Scheffler in Houston. Rory wins the Masters and JT's first win in 3 years.
And it's a great Masters. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was I did note this after.
That's unbelievable.
I'm done with the LIV PGA split. I've got no emotion about it one way or the other. But I did say to myself, yesterday or after that they're good players over there.
Yeah.
And they would add to fields they have, but you don't miss them at all. The drama and the competition, it's all been fine. Doesn't matter. Just like the NFL, Dan, it's like this. I think this is what is missed by those LIV guys. And this is a reality we don't want to contemplate, but it is real. If tomorrow Mahomes and blank and 10 all-pros left and they were going to play in the Saudi Arabian League, the NFL would still be great, compelling, competitive action. You wouldn't miss them. You'd say you would, and you'd bemoan missing them, but at the end of the day, you really wouldn't miss them.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened. They're not there. It'd be good if they were playing and we saw better fields, but I certainly don't need them at all to be compelled to watch this.
It would be great if somebody started another league and Mahomes, Burrow, and Allen all left.
I agree with you. Correct. Shad, get on that.
641-1010. Come kind, come courteous, come correct. It's a 10-minute drill. You best have some razzle-dazzle ready for the boys.
I got some razzle-dazzle ready for the boys.
What you got?
I got a pair of tickets to UB40 at St. Augustine Amphitheater. That's going down Saturday, August 23rd.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, digits.
Red wine.
Yeah. But all you got to do is holler at me right now, 904-641-1010 to get them tickets.
It's the Monday Morning Quarterback. We've got Fred Taylor still to come a little bit later this morning. We'll talk draft with him. We'll talk draft when we come back on the other side. A couple of things. One, I think we kicked this around a week or so ago, the best draft in Jaguars history. SI.com weighed in for not just the Jags, but all teams. So we'll take a peek at what they have determined is the best draft in Jaguars history. Says a lot that this is who they went with, as to the lack of success we've had through the years. And then there's this. How important are certain stats for certain positions? Like, in this case, how important for a defensive tackle that you're considering drafting is the stat sack? How important is it?
Okay.
And if it is, there's some different variables that we could be looking at right now. Anyway, all that and more, we roll on. It's the Monday Morning Quarterback. We are coming at you from inside the DivorcedMenOnly.com studios.
In life, only the best things stand the test of time, like radio play-by-play.
I think it's bigger than it seems, and if you're one of these players or one of these coaches, it's the biggest thing in your life.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL.
Hey, certainly facing interesting economic times. Can't speak for all of us, but for me, it's comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of my Jacksonville money. Why? ITP Partners, well, the experience, the expertise, the knowledge, the availability, man. Whenever I got a question, I call Chris Bryan, calls me right back. Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, the same way. Scott Regner, Dan Abel, absolutely. Janice Cobb, terrific. Reed Wingate, you betcha. That's the ITP partners, and they sit down with you. They listen to you. They build a strategy for you where your goals become their priority. It's a great time to get in the game. ITP partners are always there to help. You got a question? You want to get started? Chris at ITPpartners.com. Chris at ITPpartners.com. Or give them a call, 312-9751, 312-9751. They're ITP partners. They're my financial partners for life. Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experience. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time when if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread, carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb craving that we all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts that bread basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nah, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Baloo is on his way, and you can lose whatever you want to lose. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com. Trust me, you'll thank yourself.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mosquitoes show up, they are a buzzkill. You want them out of your yard, and fast. At Terminix, they know that mosquitoes bite, but not for long. They'll provide regular treatments to protect you and your family all season long. Go ahead and schedule that picnic, because when mosquitoes show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a mosquito problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
The Drill. From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's superior craftsmanship and timeless design. Right now, get $300 off all windows or $825 off patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months, but this offer expires April 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Mike Dempsey here. Look, you know, it's been 10 years that I've been vouching for my guys at Dandy Boots, and for a decade, I'm proud of my association with a local family business. They make a great product. I've made no secret that I was a customer long before Dandy ever came on board on 1010XL. But I'm thinking I'm due a little Dandy swag, maybe a little love. How about a Dandy t-shirt, a ball cap? So how about it, Thompson family? What do you got going on over there? In the meantime, I'm going to keep eating those delicious tuna salad sandwiches. So guys, keep helping me out and grab a Dandy sandwich today.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
I'm Hammer and Hayes Carline, and I've been known to drop an opinion like a 2-ton hammer. Weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes on 1010XL. Driven by Southside Kia. Online at SouthsideKiaJacks.com.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik has the largest selection of GMC's impressive SUV lineup and the all-new redesigned GMC Acadia and the highly sought-after Yukon and Yukon XL. Save big with the all-new GMC Hummer EV SUV and truck, plus the all-new GMC Sierra EV. Ask how to get an instant $7,500 tax credit on EV models and financing as low as 0%. Visit the showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hello, I'm attorney Malcolm Anthony. Being charged with domestic violence can turn your life upside down. If you're in trouble, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beechurst here, second-generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beechurst Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do and plumbing is what we're great at. Beechurst Plumbing, here to help.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Hot off the presses, ESPN's own Adam Schichter asking some questions, emptying the notebook, if you will. We get ready for the draft on Thursday. Will the Jags go against conventional wisdom? Schnechter, the ESPN analyst. There's many mock drafts that peg the Jags to select Michigan defensive tackle Mason Graham at number 5 overall. As the venerable Lee Corso says, however, not so fast, my friends. New GM James Gladstone, who has 10 picks to work with, including 4 in the top 90, might not be that predictable, as one league executive recently said, quote, Jacksonville's a wild card. Watch, end quote. So Adam Schnipter says Jaguars coach Liam Cohen has long had a soft spot for wide receivers in the draft. The top-rated wideout is Arizona's Ted McMillan, who's drawn comparisons to the Bucs' Mike Evans. Cohen, who coached Evans last year, knows how valuable a player like that can be to an offense. Some have questioned McMillan's passion for football. If that's true, he ain't intangibly rich.
I don't need a questioning of passion.
But
for
others
football.
suggest he's
That's not
misunderstood.
ended well for us.
Others suggest he is misunderstood, and that when he's on the football field, he's an absolute baller.
I don't need a misunderstanding. I don't need any of that. I need a guy who's full on ball all the time. I don't need if he's misunderstood.
Not
or he doesn't
intangibly
love it.
rich.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna take a pass.
But
Much as I
anyway,
need a receiver, I'm gonna trade down to 10. I'm still not taking him. Not with that description.
Maybe they take the tight end.
I think they're also a wild card from this standpoint, Dan. They are now in a position that would seem to lure a couple of squads who either want Genty or Shedeur Sanders. They're in a position because the Raiders at 6 are kind of a kick point for both those prospects.
Mm-hmm. So each year there are players who go, this is more from Adam Schnipner. He emptied the notebook, Jeff.
Oh.
Each year there are players who go higher than prognosticators predict. Missouri offensive tackle Armand Membu looks like a top 10 lock. Raiders, Jets, possible destinations. UCLA linebacker Carson.
Jags could be a wild card with Mimbo. Absolutely.
Schwesinger, projected by many as a day 2 pick. Chance to go into round 1. Commanders or Bills. Genty's superpower, which team could target him? One of the strengths of this class is the running back. Scouts Inc. has 11 in the top 100, the most since an 08 class that included McFadden, Forte, Johnson, Stewart, and Jamal Charles.
And that's the reason why a team like the Jags can't go Genty. You've got 2 more than serviceable backs in a deep class this year. So
the best this year are Genty, Omarion Hampton, Caleb Johnson from Iowa. In Ohio State's Travion Henderson and Quinshawn Judkins. There's one factor, though, that separates Genty. Breaking tackles and yards after contact. 1,733 rushing yards after contact last season.
Now, I'm not trying to dumb the kid down. He was awesome. But does it matter that you're breaking tackles against Utah State and you're asking Judkins to break them against Penn State?
There are multiple personnel people who
yes or no? Does a broken tackle stat matter when you're playing a little bit lower level of football?
I don't know.
I think maybe a little.
It does.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like breaking a tackle to SEC ain't the same
as breaking it against, Air Force, right?
Yeah.
Then you go, well, Oregon wasn't.
That's a one game, though. I hear you.
Well,
I'm just saying, game in, game out.
What do you want from me? So we only play who's on the schedule. I mean,
I think Genty is get way overvalued.
So you're breaking down.
I'm just wondering. I'm not saying it. I'm
because
asking
yesterday, you know what I saw? I saw the
I'm asking
roof.
your opinion. I'm not looking for an argument.
The roof of Genty is Walter Payton.
Yeah.
The floor, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Well, that's stupid.
Whoa.
Well, if that were the case,
whoa, take it with 5.
Run to the podium.
Yeah, again, LaDainian. I don't know.
I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I definitely do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's so silly, though, because you guys say that, because if I tell you the ceiling and floor for the other prospects around, you're going to start to wonder. If I told you the ceiling for Mason Graham was Aaron Donald, you still rushing up there to get LT?
What's the floor?
What's the floor?
Well, we know there is no floor, dude. If you're seeing, seriously. By the way, if you think that Ashton Genty's floor is LaDainian Tomlinson, then let's give up on draft talk. Come on.
Just go get him, right?
Yeah, he's not the floor. That's ridiculous. You can't say the floor for a man is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Come on.
Floor. It's the floor right
there. Yeah, poor Ashton Genty. He is bound to disappoint. There's just no way he's living up to all this hype for a guy that none of us heard of a year from today.
Yeah.
That scares me, too. There's a lot here, dude. I don't.
What to make of Milroe's invite, according to Schnippner, just because Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe was invited to attend the draft doesn't mean the league expects him to be picked on Thursday night. The league does invite players it believes has a chance to be picked high, even some that could still be on the board day 2. The league invited Milroe because he's one of the top quarterback prospects, and even if he's not picked in round 1, he could be in attendance Friday night. Teams certainly like Milroe enough, and it's fair to say many are incredibly intrigued. Maybe the only quarterback faster than Lamar Jackson, said Browns GM Andrew Berry. There's a guy to listen to. Milroe has some similarities to a quarterback named Jalen, who also played at Bama.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts so much more accurate than
6'2", 217. Hurts 6'1", 223. Both represented by the same agent. Hurts went in the second round. Milroe figures as a potential second-round pick to a team willing to bet on his upside.
I think Hurts was like a 70% passer at Oklahoma.
Milroe's
the accuracy for Milroe is what's keeping him, down. And that can get better. You got to be. Let me tell you let me give you another guy who was an accurate passer coming out of college, Josh Allen.
That's true.
So Milroe if he can tighten that stuff up, there's a prospect there for sure. I personally believe that if he's going, somebody's told him he's getting picked
in the first round.
Yeah, why would you do that? Somebody at the bottom of the first has said, "Buddy, you ain't getting by us, so you can go have fun." I don't know, but it's just. That would seem to be.
Draft weekend is also a busy time for trades of players already on rosters, players on rookie contracts who could be deemed expendable. The list includes Travis Etienne Jr.
But who wants him?
George Pickens.
The reason that you would consider letting Travis Etienne go is that
Evan Neal, Kayvon Thibodeau.
Isn't that the same reason that people wouldn't come after him?
I don't know. And the veterans who could be available via trade, Jalen Ramsey, Jair Alexander, Kirk Cousins, Dallas Goedert, Mark Andrews, and Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, I don't see a sin on any of those.
Okay.
How important are sacks to your defensive tackle? Like, if you're taking a defensive tackle 5th overall, I know it's not the natural pass rushing position. Don't you want it to be an overwhelming athlete who had like 8 to 10 sacks from that position in college?
You always want everything.
But isn't that an indication or no? Like, what did Aaron...
Defensive tackle?
Yeah. Like, the great defensive tackles in college, are they getting 6.5, 8 sacks a year? Or do they go into the draft with their last college sack back on October 5th? Because that's the last time Mason Graham had one. October 5th against Washington.
Yeah.
He followed that with 0 sacks against Illinois, Michigan State, Oregon, Indiana, Northwestern, and Ohio State. Of his 3.5 sacks this year, 2 were against Minnesota, and 1 was against UCLA. And by the way, UCLA's quarterback was sacked 12 times that day. He got 1 of them.
Aaron Donald had 11 his last year. He had 5.5 the year before.
Yeah, that's a guy we're taking at 5 overall. Hadn't had a sack since October. That's a guy who's dominating college football.
That's what they tell us.
Yeah. Makes me worry. I just worry. It just makes me worry that we'll have Ronaldo, a good, solid, but not 5th best player kind of guy.
Well, then why wouldn't you
Tyson Alualu?
Then why wouldn't you take Ashton Genty?
Yeah, because I don't need a running back so much, and his hype is too much. He's not going to live up to it. I got one whose hype's not enough, and the other's way too much.
Well, you're just...
I don't need a running back like that, man. I got other positions. I'd much rather get a receiver than a running back. Much rather get an edge rusher than a running back. I'd much rather get a tackle than a running back. I'd much rather get.
Here's the reason. Here telling me about Jalen Walker. He had 6.5 sacks.
Yeah, but here's the
Check this out.
Here's the thing though with running back, Dan. That this matters. Yeah. That 11 in the top 100 matters. I'm not taking Genty 5th when I can get a guy in round 4 who's got a real high ceiling. Also,
why would you take a receiver?
Because it's a weak receiver draft.
That's plenty of good receivers.
It's a weak receiver draft.
What?
Yes, it's a weak receiver.
I got one for y'all. What y'all think about Ed Oliver up in Buffalo?
I like Ed Oliver.
You like Ed Oliver?
Yeah, he was a Heisman Trophy candidate coming out of Houston. He's a good football player. Yeah, Ed Oliver.
Check this out. His 3 years in college.
Yeah.
5 sacks, 5.5, 3.5.
Ooh.
Those are his last 3 years in college.
He's a good baller, right?
And I'll give
Ed Oliver ain't the 5th pick of the draft.
He was drafted 9th.
I'm saying you don't want. First of all, 9th, 8th, 5th, and second, you don't want that.
Right, so this is what I was.
So is that your point?
Yeah. So he played 7 games last year, 1 sack. The year before that, he had 9.5 sacks. He played all 16.
Yeah. Ed Oliver was a big dude. He's a big.
Yeah, he's a big
more
boy.
consummate. But for the record,
he's smaller than Graham.
Ed Oliver is?
Yes.
That surprises me.
Yes.
Ed Oliver, 6'1", 287.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want Ed Oliver at the 5th pick.
That's just the first name I thought of when
I
you
like
made
Ed
up a
Oliver.
D lineman.
You don't want Ed Oliver?
Not with the 5th pick.
If Mason Graham was Ed Oliver, that's not good enough?
No.
Oh, man.
No.
I'll take him.
How many All-Pros has Ed Oliver made again?
Yeah, 0.
We're talking about the 5th pick in the draft, boys. Not a good draft pick.
You know, I got to go with Jeff with the 5th overall. He's been a good, consistent, steady player.
I'm expecting.
overall.
The 5th, dude. We need enough of this lower standards. Not that you're carrying them on purpose. That this team has given us. We got to hit a home run, man.
Well, Ed Oliver's a double.
Yeah,
Stand-up double.
Yeah, you know who else is a double? Trayvon Walker's a double.
Yeah, but
too many doubles, and you're not scoring enough runs.
Let's score some runs now.
Yeah. You can find these holes in any prospect. I'm not saying you can't.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that sacks are the most important thing. I don't know. I'm asking.
We already got our Ed Oliver. Yeah, that's Trayvon.
Who?
Trayvon.
Trayvon's an edge, though.
But as far as the numbers, we got Ed Oliver.
Give me enough doubles. We'll get enough runs. If the said quarterback can play like a, not a singles hitter.
Okay.
Maybe hit a couple home runs here and there. As long as
no sacks since October
baseball
5th.
Analogy.
I don't know. The Jags are aware, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Whatever that.
Again, though, you come back with Jalen Walker, it's the same guy. 6.5 sacks. When was his last?
Yeah.
All right, 3 against Texas. Okay, what do you do against everybody else? He had 3.
I ask a question about sacks.
Well, which one's
and
better?
Interior linemen.
Yeah.
And so would you like Jalen Walker to have more than 6.5? Well, sure, I guess. Sure you would.
Okay,
But
well,
I would rather have an edge rusher with 6.5.
Let's just draft Abdul Carter.
Do what?
We'll
we're
just
not
take it.
getting him. That's
We'll
the
just
point.
go up to the podium and say it no matter what. We're going to pay him more.
And by the way,
breaking the rules.
we're going to do all
drafted
this.
Abdul Carter.
We're going to do all this, and this is the great and most infuriating thing about the draft. We're going to go through all this, and you know what rookie won't lead the league in sacks?
Who
won't be the rookie leader in sacks? Abdul Carter.
Oh.
You watch. You watch. Be some 4th rounder for the Titans, gets 9. Find them. They're there.
Yeah.
Fred's next. Fred Taylor, the Monday morning running back, joins us next here on The Drill inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Intelligent sports talk with an attitude.
She loved Cole.
Hey, sorry.
That is awful.
It's at Jack's Beach at J1A.
You got me.
1010XL.
I did mumble one word.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
It's here. Beard's Diamonds' first ever massive sale on all diamond stud earrings and all tennis bracelets. Now through Sunday at 4 p.m. Save 20%, 30%, even 40%. Beautiful diamond stud earrings and gorgeous diamond tennis bracelets. Perfect for any occasion. Take advantage of huge markdowns. Best prices ever. Corporate-owned big box stores could never offer this extreme value, but locally owned Beards can. And it's happening now through Sunday. Up to 40% off. Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Hey, beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings priority booking by calling our heroes at Zero Res. I get the cleaning freaks out all the time at the Hicken household. Why? Because they make the house look better, smell better, feel better. They're unbelievable. Step into a fresher, cleaner home this spring with Zero Res, man. This month, get Zero Resified. From Jacksonville's #1 carpet cleaner, you get 25% off all cleaning services. I said it, 25% off. That's carpets, air ducts, upholstery, rugs, hard surfaces. Don't believe me? Check out more than 8,000 reviews on Google. You'll see what everybody says about Zero Res. And right now, call 287-5727, 287-5727, or go online at zeroresjacksonville.com. Tell me you want the Hicken special, 1010 special, XL special. Zero res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero res. It's the right way to clean.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral plant arrangement. This is JJ with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Get to know positions and players. The 1010XL Ultimate Draft Guide is brought to you by Blue Haven Pools, the #1 pool builder in Jacksonville. Follow rankings and roundtables as the draft takes shape. Go to 1010XL.com/2025 draft guide to get yours.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey man, what's that noise?
Do you hear it too? You can hear it, right?
Yeah, it's your air conditioner. It's like a grinding or a rattling.
And it's getting on your nerves, right? Like it's eating at your brain and you can't think straight? But it just keeps grinding and squeaking and taunting and nagging. You're not good enough. You're a failure. Why can't you be more like your sister, the lawyer?
Yeah, I don't hear that last part so much.
Yeah, but it's not cool, right, Jason?
It could definitely be cooler. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we can totally repair whatever that noise is and get your AC working smoothly and silently. We fix these things all the time.
So I won't be a failure?
Life should be enjoyed. If some irritating, broken air conditioner is making you crazy, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Friendly competition meets great futures. It's the Birdies and Bounces Tournament presented by the Mackenzie Noel Wilson Foundation Friday, May 9th at the Yards. Where else can a pickleball tournament, 15 holes of golf, food, fun, beverages, raffles, and great activities help a worthy organization like the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida, where 59 clubs serve nearly 6,000 youth daily. For tickets and team registration, email Charlie C. at bgcnf.org.
A chipped windshield can turn into a big problem fast. Lauren Brooks here. Trust Novus Glass of Jacksonville for expert repair and replacement. Call 904-289-2905 for Novus Glass in Orange Park. 904-289-2905.
Paying rent can feel like throwing money away. And when you're spending so much, it can be hard to see yourself buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is helping you put your monthly rent towards home ownership with Rent Rewards. For the first time, save up to $5,000 off the cost of your first home just by paying rent. Only at Rocket Mortgage. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Number 3030.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph has been a legend on-road. They've branched out to their off-road division as well. Give us the latest on what you can find on the asphalt.
They've got some great new products. They've got the Scrambler 400s you can get into for a little less than you might think. It's a great price point bike, but still a Triumph.
So affordability is also part of the equation.
It is, and it looks good, and it rides good.
CyclesofJacksonville.com, or check them out on their Facebook page, the showroom ready and waiting for you on Atlantic near Regency at Cycles of Jacksonville.
Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Awaken 180. The NFL draft will take place this Thursday, and while we are only a few days away from the draft, there have been no major trades with any teams. Jags are currently sitting with the 5th overall pick in the draft, and General Manager James Gladstone says his organization will be open to any conversation throughout the week in regards to making a trade.
Yeah, I think adaptability is going to be key through that. It's never going to be done until it gets sent into the league. So we'll have as many conversations as people are willing to engage on, and I don't think that now versus on the clock is going to be anything that I would say isn't of interest.
The Jacksonville Icemen find themselves 2 games down to the Florida Everblades in round 1 of the Kelly Cup playoffs after 2 overtime losses this weekend. The series will now shift to Jacksonville at the ViStar Arena on Wednesday with puck drop at 7. It's 78 degrees at 8:07. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, Dan and Jeff hand it off to our halfback.
Fred Taylor, every time he touches it, he's a candidate to go the distance.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI defense firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
John Cena. All right, welcome back to the show. We got Freddie T on right now. We got a lot to talk about today, but I gotta go back here and get the story on this deal that I saw Freddie T put on Twitter about 6 days ago.
Wow.
Fred, good morning, by the way.
Keeping notes over there.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I got
Good
some
morning.
notes.
Happy
I got some
Monday.
notes, Fred. I got this from you. Almost cashed in on my crash out coupon tonight.
What?
On my flight from Dallas to Jacksonville. Fred, what happened?
You got to explain what a crash out is.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I was so close to crashing out. See, this is the thing, right? People see me with a smile on my face all the time. I don't know what their thoughts are, but I am mature enough and know that if I do crash out, it's not going to be good when I touch the ground on media. I'm not going to be in representation of my family, the Jaguars, obviously. I put a lot of that stuff into consideration before I crash out. But this guy, so you're in first class, you got three personal storage spaces underneath the seat in front of you.
Okay.
He put his bag in the center, and he kept his personal side free so he can stretch his legs out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the side that I had was so tight and tiny that I politely asked, hey, do you mind taking your bag and placing it in front of you?
It's a first class violation is what we got going on
He's
here.
in violation right now, Fred.
Yeah. And he replied, no, you have a lot of overhead space.
Ooh.
But not only that, I was cool, and I asked the flight attendant, I said, excuse me, ma'am, do you mind if I put my personal bag up top? Because the rules are, one carry-on and one personal item.
Okay.
The personal item goes underneath. So he says, sure. And after that, I diffused the situation. But then when I have to bag up, he had his phone on my side.
Uh-oh.
He put all of his other stuff on my side. I'm like, bro, you're one of those personal space
invaders
people. Yeah. So I was just frustrated. I had been traveling like 12 hours that day, and he worked, so. Yeah.
Well, good.
I
Listen,
had to
Fred, at least
maintain
you're smart enough to understand that you can't afford a crash out at this stage of your career.
Yeah.
You can never have a crash out. Zero tolerance crash out. You just got to take it.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. I'm glad that I now know what a crash out is because, Fred, when you talk about airlines and crashing, it got me a little nervous. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a second.
You
thought you used your one.
A nice combination right there.
Fred, the one that gets me, I was in first class, ironically, coming from Dallas, same exact thing. And I got the dude in front of me, bro, and he has got that thing. And part of it's on the airplane. If you're flying first class and the person in front of you puts their seat back, it shouldn't affect you. But I was on one of those that it did. I just don't get those people, man. They should put it right in your lap. I just don't get it. Come on.
Try sitting in coach with me.
Oh, yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, and they put that seat back. You know what you get? You know what you get when you do that to me? You get a little. I start hitting the seat a little bit.
Knee action.
Yeah, hit the seat.
Dan will crash out, unlike you. He'll
crash out. Yes, I will crash out.
Yeah,
I crash out every morning, Fred, so that's not a question.
Yes. All right. Hey, by the way, your old college football coach turned 80 yesterday. How about that? Stephen Orr Spurrier, 80 years old.
Ooh,
How about that?
Yeah.
He's still kicking, isn't he?
Yeah, we're getting up there, man.
I know.
That's a blessing. Each breath is a blessing.
Yes.
Fred, let's
Happy birthday to the old ball coach.
let's use some synergy there. I mean, I can remember, I think I've told you the story before, but back when we used to cover the Gators back in the day, Tuesday would be media day, and we would talk to y'all, and then we would go upstairs, and Steve would have a big, we'd have a big luncheon, and then he would just talk, kind of off the cuff about everyone. And he said something at some point, like before you were on the radar as a top 10 pick, he said, I'll tell you media boys something. That Fred Taylor's going to make a lot of money when it comes to the draft evaluation. He knew the size and the speed and all those things. And then he proceeded to feed you the ball down the stretch. And I'm just wondering, while you never doubted your talent, was there a part like in, say, October of that senior season where you would not have thought you were going to be a top 10 running back? Or did you keep that as a realistic goal, even as you were, earning the stats that you ultimately ended up, accumulating?
The thing about it and the truth about it all is I never paid attention to the whole draft hype. I didn't.
Lose him? Oh,
throughout the course of the season.
Hang on, Fred.
Yeah, you're breaking up on us just a little bit. Yeah. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to.
Yeah. Yes. Can you guys hear me?
You started with the thing about it was, and then it went break.
Yeah.
So basically from the get go.
Maybe they didn't want to hear this. So the thing about it, I just never really put a lot of stock into, the whole draft thing. I just cared about playing ball. It was just fun to play football, fun to play for Florida, fun to play for Coach Spurrier. I finally had gotten the starting job. Before that, I was rotating with Terry Jackson, Elijah Williams, and my senior year, I was able to secure the starting job. And he said, "Look, Fred, I just want to feed you the ball." He asked me if I was ready for the challenge. I said, "Of course, I'm ready." Doug was a younger quarterback. He and Noah. Noah wasn't, but Doug was a little bit younger, so he wanted to put the ball in my hand, sort of take it out of Doug's hand, especially after that LSU game. And I got more opportunities later in the season. And I just sort of met the challenge, and, the rest is history. I knew I can do all of the combine stuff. I was going to wake up and run 4.2, like out of my sleep. I was going to bench press a lot. I was going to have a high vertical jump and all that other stuff. It was just a matter of putting the film together, which Coach gave me an opportunity to.
And it paid off. Tell me what your initial thoughts were. I was there also for your workout and saw Tom Coughlin's eyes go like that cartoon when they go ding, like 8 inches outside of his skull, and then bing back in. Did you know right after that on-campus workout you would be a Jaguar, or when did you? And that was probably 2 weeks maybe before the draft, or when did you get a clear indication you would be coming here?
Well, to be honest with you, Jeff, I didn't know until I got the call on draft day.
Okay.
He calls, hey, it's Coach Coughlin. I mean, because of my workout, he was tough. He was trying to run my tongue out of my mouth.
Yeah, you said that. That's what you
told
read.
him about it. And I'm like, Coach, I didn't think you liked me that day at all. But he was just testing me and challenging to see if I had heart, to see if I had what it took to be a Jaguar, because he was going to press and coach me, equally as hard. So I passed the challenge, man, and the best day of my life happened. One of the best days of my life happened, to be selected 9th overall by the Jaguars. I was able to stay in the region. Gainesville was an hour and a half away. I grew up 4.5 hours away. My family could see me play. No state tax, which is always a good bonus. And I was able to, grow up and become a man, that the middle third of my life, it was 22 to 33 or something like that. In Jacksonville, spent some good days becoming a man there.
Freddie, let's cut to the chase here with the 5th pick. Who would you like to see the Jags draft?
If I would like to see the Jaguars pick someone that's going to be there for at least 10, 13 years or so. That would be ideal. If the next part of it is, I think Travis Hunter is amazing talent.
He's going to be gone.
Yeah, he is going to be gone, but you asked me who I would like. So I don't know. I want to see someone that's going to come in with a lot of heart, someone who's going to understand or help create, a winning culture. I'm looking at the kid, Mason Graham, who everybody's projecting that big to be. He's not a Quentin Williams,
right?
In terms of, let's look at him. He's just going to physically dominate. Now, he does have some tremendous attributes. I mean, he's as quick as they come. You just can't block him. You know, that's more of a pass rush situation. Can he do it every single down? Can he use his speed to disrupt like those Indy linemen used to do back in the day on the way to the passer? Pass rush on the way to the passer, play to run through that. But a solid pick, I think. Again, I would love to be a fly on the wall in those rooms as the draft process is going. My thoughts were to come and just hang out and you know, just be quiet and be in the room and gather the entire experience. But I'm going to be in Green Bay doing some stuff with the pivot here, screaming about the draft.
Oh, yeah.
But, again, I think the Jags are in a good place. Mason Graham isn't a bad pick. I would love for Travis to slip, but, again, I doubt he will.
Yeah.
Just an amazing talent. But I will see, man. It's an exciting time.
Finally
of the
here,
year.
yeah.
Hey,
yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it, especially with the new regime. It's always exciting to see how it unfolds.
You can afford to at least be optimistic and see how the class plays out. You don't have this immediate, like, flashbacks of mistakes from previous years with guys drafting. So there's definitely some truth in that. Listen, Fred, it's good for business for the pivot when you bring a guest on who says something that, you know, makes headlines. You probably knew when you scheduled Lane Kiffin something would be coming out of it. And just like overall, your thoughts on the pivot conversation with Kiffin. By the way, the news that Kiffin made was, you know, that this figure of $4 million thrown around Carson Beck, and Kiffin said, quote, "Did they watch his game against us?" Ooh. That's what he said on the pivot, and probably more like that. So, yeah, Fred, what can you tell us inside the mind of the Gator rival?
You know, it's amazing how the media works, right? They pull something juicy out, but the entire interview had a lot more substance than just that one Carson Beck line.
Right.
But typically in today's world, in today's media, they want the juiciest part of the steak, right? So they take that, carved it off, and used it. But Lane is, you know, I'm happy that he's found himself. You know, I believe that in his sobriety and, you know, losing his father not so long ago, the legendary Monty Kiffin, you know, I think to put things in perspective, Lane has always been a guy who's thrived off opportunity. He's a guy now that people will call him a Nepo baby, you know, from getting the opportunity from his pops. But to see his ups and downs throughout his struggle and the fact that he's still here, he's a brilliant coach. He does not care about saying how he feels, which is why you got that Carson Beck piece. But again, you want to be black and white. You want to be transparent, and he's been that way with his team. He likes to have fun in the public eye with his tweets and all that other stuff. But the substance of the interview just shows you who the person really is, and that's what I enjoyed most about it. And he wanted to come on. He reached out. His team reached out. Say, hey, guys, I would love to come on, just tell my story, because a lot of people will see Lane and think he's this, you know, this kind of arrogant or condescending person, smart mouth. But I think he's in a good place. As long as he keeps losing to the Gators, I'm totally fine with Lane.
He was a young.
But I do root for him.
He was a young coach, and you were a young player. Do you remember him here in Jacksonville?
Oh, yeah, we talked about it.
Okay.
I had to holler at my guy, Mike Perks. Mike Perkins in the building. That's one of my favorite people ever, as a matter of fact.
A lot of people say that about Perk.
Holler at Perk for some intel, and he sent over a picture of a young Lane Kiffin and his dad and Money sitting atop a horse back way back in the day, man. But, yeah, we chopped it up about him being in the building.
Nice.
Good stuff.
2000, I believe. That was the year 2000.
That was, yeah. I had to look it up, but so I was making sure that it was
they crossed
after
over.
You were here. Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was just before that too.
He was only here for like a year, right?
Yeah, 1 year.
Lane was?
Quality control, I think. I think he was even on the defensive side of the ball, if I remember.
And I think his ex-wife worked down there too, if I'm not mistaken, or an internship or something like that. I'm not positive on that. That's John.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know, that's John Reeves' daughter, his ex-wife, the Gator quarterback.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's who. Yeah, Lane was married. John Reeves once.
Smaller world.
Oh yeah.
We talked about hanging out in that dang sauna. He's trying to get some of the, the previous evening
Yeah.
juices out.
I was going to say, Kevin's a big sauna guy, I bet. A lot of hours in the sauna for Kevin. Hey, Freddie, we appreciate it as always,
Thanks,
man.
Freddie.
Have fun up in Green Bay. We know you can't get in any trouble there. Not that you would.
I'm not crashing.
No crash outs.
Hey,
No crash outs.
No crash out. All right, my brother. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Fred. All right, there he goes, Fred Taylor. You know who I've determined Kiffin is, Hick?
Who?
You know what he is? He's Mike Leach with polish. He's got a good offense. He's got a lot of personality. But he's never going to win it all. He's always going to have a flaw. He's going to lose to a team that he shouldn't. He's going to beat number one teams.
The word I did a Gator Bowl thing with him this year. And so I was around him just for like.
And I don't mean the kookiness, the weirdness. I just mean the what you can expect from his football team.
He's definitely a quirky dude.
Right,
He's
like
definitely
Leach.
Leach. Yeah, he is quirky.
Yeah.
He's a quirky cat.
And he has great offensive success, but he's very inconsistent. Highest highs, lowest lows. There's a lot of Leach in him.
But if you're Ole Miss, man, you
sure
love him.
It's better than you've had, but you just is there any
You
part?
never know.
Do you think he's winning it? Last year was the time.
Yeah, I had a great chance.
Last year was the
Great
one. He had it all there. You got to beat Florida and Gainesville, man.
It's a tough one, but yeah,
for sure. All right, let's take a quick timeout. Appreciate Fred, as always, the Monday morning running back inside the divorcemenonly.com studios.
Where's this place supposed to be? Just beyond the swamp. Haven't you heard of the monster that lives there? It makes sure no one gets through that swamp alive. My kind of place.
We've got your Gators right here.
I'll lead you through the swamp.
1010XL.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
When you think of America, you think baseball, cookouts, military, and pride for our country. At Garber Auto Mall, we're proud to carry every American-made truck at one location. Ford, Chevy, GMC, Ram, and Jeep. With the largest inventory selection in North Florida, you can shop with one salesperson. Garber Auto Mall is proud to support our country, our military, and our community. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. Garber Auto Mall. Proud to be American.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Leon Cersei here. Let's be real. I used to eat like a lineman because I was one. And man, those habits are hard to break. I needed help to stop with the munchies and lose weight. But now, I'm bringing sexy back. I call Physician Guided Weight Loss. Their medical team is helping me shed pounds safely with a custom plan to help me slim down. And their firm pricing means same price every month. Hey, you want to bring sexy back? Visit Physician Guided Weight Loss at pgweightloss.com.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and now Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Hey, you've been hearing all about it. Now it's here. Beards Diamond's most ambitious sale ever. Now through Sunday. Yeah, today through Sunday. Only at Beards. 40% off all diamond stud earrings and all diamond tennis bracelets. This is a huge first-time ever event on the most popular pieces of fashion jewelry. I'm telling Prosser, 30 years? Get over to Beards, man. You save an incredible 20, 30, even 40% on every pair of diamond studs and every diamond tennis bracelet. Best prices ever. Only Beards can offer you this kind of amazing value. Unlike all the other jewelers in St. John's Town Center, Beards is not owned by a Wall Street conglomerate. Family owned, locally owned, freedom and flexibility the corporate stores simply don't have. Great chance to check out this 40-year business that continues to run circles around the competition. You save up to 40%, all diamond studs, all diamond tennis bracelets starting today through Sunday at 4 o'clock. Locally owned Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Denny Thompson here. If you haven't heard, Tyson Sound and Security has a house built right inside their showroom, showcasing complete home automation and security systems. You have to see it to believe it. This setup can recognize intruders who approach your door and alerts them to leave if there's a break-in. Keep your family safe with the most state-of-the-art technology. Tyson Sound and Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
It's fun to predict because it's usually unpredictable. 1010XL's draft coverage is brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors and First Coast Recyclers. Roll through the offseason with AA Automotive.
For over 5 decades, a true American band. This is America. Encore Tour 2025, an unforgettable evening with America. April 23rd, Florida Theater. On sale now at floridatheater.com. America, live in concert. Produced by Outback Presents.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beatrice here, second generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beatrice Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do and plumbing is what we're great at. Beatrice Plumbing, here to help.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is your Duval Minute. Brought to you by Lift Power, your turnkey solution for all warehouse needs.
All right, pre-draft still Duval Minute. Jimmy Gladstone, according to Adam Schnipner, looking to further reshape and elevate this Jags roster. What might he do? What might he do? As a hefty 24 draft picks between the drafts when he was with the Rams at 23 and 24. So now he's got 10 more coming up. Now, look, the Jags only have 59 players on their roster, so even with 10 draft picks, they still would have 21 roster spots to be filled by UDFAs. That's the most in the NFL. Interesting now as the Jags look to elevate the floor and get a football team that can compete in the AFC South. Pre-draft minute brought to you by our friends at Lift Power. Lift Power is always on the lookout for great folks, experienced lift, truck, and dock and door technicians. The benefits at Lift Power are unbelievable. 401k, company vehicle paid, training, sign-on bonus. Go see why Lift Power year in and year out is voted one of the best places to work in all of Jacksonville. Been around for a long time, 50-plus years. Family owned and operated. And they'll give you an opportunity to be part of the family. All you got to do, go to liftpower.com for more information. That's liftpower.com.
All right, I got a couple of things here, a couple of extrapolations. I'm going to start with the Shazam Spotlight brought to you by ShazamAuto.com. And I've not been complimentary when it comes to what the Braves have done when it comes to letting talent go during these off seasons, from Freeman to Swanson to Free. The departures have been very, very damaging. It shows in the wins and losses. But they were spot on and not re-upping one dude. And I can't imagine Charlie Morton making it to June on the roster of the Baltimore Orioles. He got lit up again yesterday. The Orioles gave up 25 runs to the Reds, 24 runs to the Reds. Charlie Morton didn't make it out of the third inning, gave up another 7 earned runs yesterday in just a couple of innings. He has now, for the Orioles, after signing a 1-year deal with them, and a lot of Braves, including myself, wondered if it was the right move. Charlie Morton's 0-5 with an ERA of 10.9.
Slow start.
Yeah, not that. That's the kind of start that will have you not playing Major League Baseball here in about a month. I guess they'd give him a couple more opportunities. Those are the kind. Look, it's one thing if you're not your best, Chris Sale. It's another if you're just getting, the cover of the ball knocked off. All right, now I have this number too. I'm going to piggyback off of Justin Thomas winning for the first time in 3 years.
Okay.
I've said this a couple of times. I'll see where it's harder to win on PGA Tour now than it ever has been in the history of the game.
All right.
Because there are more good golfers. That's just the bottom line. Whether it's technology or anything else, it's leveled the field. And just every time you tee up a PGA Tour event, there are guys out there capable, like dozens and dozens and dozens of guys who can shoot 64. Whereas back in the day, that just wasn't possible. And here's an interesting stat.
Okay.
Most rounds of 62 or better on the PGA Tour in the last 40 years. So from 1985 until now.
Okay. 62 or better.
62 or better.
Who has had them?
Well, how many
are
the
there?
leader, how many? Justin Thomas is the leader now. I think I told you what that
4 or
number
5?
was. 14 times.
14?
This dude has gone 62 or better.
Wow. Is Furyk on that list?
No.
Oh.
Tiger is number 3 on the list.
Okay.
He's tied with 2 other dudes.
Okay. Phil?
9 times. No, this speaks to the point. It's not Tiger and Phil and Furyk and BJ. It's Justin and Tiger, 14 and 9. The other 3?
Yeah.
Kevin Na with 11.
Nah.
And tied with Tiger at 9, Zach Johnson and Ryan Palmer.
Yeah, I wouldn't get that.
That's what shows you how hard it is to win versus back in the day. Back in the day, you didn't have some dude like Ryan Palmer could go that low 9 times. Anyway, what a stat, though. But Justin Thomas, and we talked about this, he's got course records 3 times in the last 2 years on tour, but he finally got a win to show for it.
Have you gone over a friend of the program, Jordan Reed's final mock?
I have not.
7-round mocker.
What do you got?
So as expected, the top 4 are the top 4. And then Jags take Mason Graham. Heavy-handed disruptive presence in the middle. Consistent nuisance for opposing offenses. Adding him to a roster with Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker, and Eric Armstead would potentially give the Jags a top-level defensive line. If Eric Armstead can play some football inside where he belongs, and you put in Mason Graham there, and then you've got some guys, in a backup role, that is potentially a pretty good, doggone good D-line. I mean, it'd be like night and day. Anyway, that's the 5th pick. Let's shoot it down to 36.
I can't get away from it being Mason Graham. The only person I could see it, well, that's not true. I think it could be the O-tackle that they've just laid in the weeds on, or it could be Jalen Walker they've laid in the weeds on. But more than likely, all this smoke is going to lead to a Mason Graham fire with the 5th pick.
Yeah.
Right?
Like to see you get on board. Not be so negative.
That's not negative at all.
Jalen Walker to Carolina at 8. So, a hybrid linebacker with an upfield urgency, aggressive play style, 16.9% pressure rate, 10th best in the FBS, undersized but can be deployed in multiple spots. You ever get worried about undersized? Does that worry you? You worry about 3.5 sacks. Does undersized worry you when you're talking about big men?
There's a lot that worries me about Mason Graham when it comes to getting 5th pick in the draft value. I think the guys.
So is Jalen Walker more 5th pick in the draft value for you, though? I asked you.
Well, he's got I think the ceiling is higher. I mean, you can get
Does undersized worry you, though?
Oh, for him?
Yeah. Like
245.
I think Mason Graham. I think Jalen Walker.
Use the speed. And I think 245. 6'1", 245 ain't Telvin Smith. I don't know where does that. What is Micah Parsons? Can I get a height and weight on Micah Parsons? It's like, what is typical for that outside linebacker edge rush kind of?
Anyway, 36 for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Emeka Egbuka. Excellent compliment to Brian Thomas, 81,011 yards, 10 touchdowns last season. A nuanced and detailed route runner, Egbuka is a ready-made target who can step in and play right away. 36.
Micah Parsons, 6'3", 245.
Yeah, so the weight about the same, a little taller.
Then we move it down to, where's the next Jags pick? Next Jags pick is round 370. Noel Williams, cornerback Cal. He had more interceptions last year, 7, than the Jags as a team, 6. Noel Williams, cornerback Cal, would be the next pick, according to Jordan Reed. Then at 88, the Jags would go with Dylan Sampson, running back, Tennessee. Travis Etienne Jr. in the final year of his contract. This would be a good place to pick Sampson. He's an efficient zone runner with excellent contact balance. Dylan Sampson.
I'll tell you who loves him, too, is Kuiper. Kuiper does his list of guys that are better than where they're being projected, and Sampson was the running back in a very deep running class that he went with. And there's a lot of guys like him, man, that were 6 yard, per carry, 1,300-yard backs.
107, the Jags take safety Billy Bowman from Oklahoma.
I've seen him more than once mocked to the Jags.
Okay. And then last one, 126, Gunnar Helm, tight end, Texas. Hey, I've been meaning to ask you this for a while, both you guys. What in the hockey sticks happened to Quinn Ewers?
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. No mention. Yeah, that's a good point.
Where did he go?
He just disappeared.
He's like a 7th-round pick?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't think I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm just curious. Like,
when it all started, he was in that top 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers, I've been meaning to ask you this for weeks. I gotta ask these guys, what's the deal with Quinn Ewers?
Yeah.
I mean, he is like gonzo, man.
Yeah. That's fair.
I mean, do you see him anywhere ever pop up?
No, not in a while.
I just was like, is it size, speed, athleticism, arm strength? I don't know.
It's got to be arm strength. I mean, what else does it?
Like, we've heard good things about everybody, and Quinn Ewers is like,
yeah, like you think he'd at least get the Dylan Gabriel treatment. He's not even getting that.
Where is he ranked? Where is he now ranked in the quarterbacks?
Well, just your guy Jordan just put out his last quarterback rankings. Let me see.
Who, Jordan Reed?
Yeah.
All right, where's he got him? I'm just curious.
Let me see.
Because I got news for you. Now, let me ask you that, and then I'm going to follow that up with another question. But where is Quinn Ewers ranked in quarterbacks?
All right, Reed's final draft rankings. 2 days ago.
Okay, 2 days ago.
Ward 1.
Okay.
Shador 2.
Shador 2.
Jackson Dart 3. That's
right.
Consensus now.
Okay. Well.
But to your point, Ewers was up there with Dart when it started.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4 is Jalen Milroe. I think that's kind of been pretty established.
Okay.
Number 5, Kyle McCord.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 6, Tyler Shuck.
Okay.
Number 7, Quinn Ewers.
7.
Early to mid day 3. So he's got him more like round 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
That's what he has.
Okay.
6'2", 214. So, yeah, the size shouldn't be a huge issue.
Yeah.
Best team fit Niners.
Yeah.
Let's see what they say. Where he needs work. They shifted away from deep passes. Had more of the quick passing attack, threw a higher percentage of passes at or behind the line of scrimmage than all but 7 of the qualified passers.
Yeah.
7 yards per attempt is 110. That's what it is, the nickel and dime. Does he have that drive downfield?
Okay, now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4th or 5th round isn't as bad as I anticipated. Yeah. I thought he was more like 7th round.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he had fallen off.
Well, to your point, he's not been
nobody brings him up.
He's not showing up as the sleeper.
Yeah.
We've forgotten about.
Yeah.
He's been,
nobody talks.
Yeah, he's been shoved down.
But did Sarkisian next year? You know, it's going to be the first pick of the draft, right?
Next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it's that big a discrepancy, fellas, Should we have not worked Arch in maybe a little bit more and had him take over last year to go win a natty?
Well, I've said that before.
That was a conversation piece.
Okay, so I'm wondering, what are you doing if he's your guy? That was poor coaching by Sarkisian. You showed way too much. You should have They should have given Arch the Trevor treatment. Dabo turned to a senior who was 5-0 and said, "Nope, not good enough."
Yeah.
So Sarkisian showed he's just not.
Or should we compliment him for being loyal?
No, he's checkers. The rest of the dudes, the champions, play chess.
Okay.
Sark's a checkers player, and you don't see this. Arch has been there 2 years.
Yeah.
And he's not played him. Hardly at all. I know he played last night. Barely. He should have been the starter by the middle of this year. Sorry, Quinn. They should have ridden it out with Ewers. I mean, with Arch.
Yeah.
And now he goes in next year. Now he'll be fine. Arch will be fine. It's not so much for getting Arch ready, is for you could have been better. You had the number 1 pick, and you're letting him sit. It reeks of how they did Richardson in Gainesville. Mullen should have played him. He should have gone back to Emory Jones for another year. He should have played Richardson. And I think ultimately that we'll say the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I just thought it was interesting. Let's take a break. You want to?
I don't want to, but we have to. So we'll come back with more intriguing programming.
We're over.
Next.
On The Drill.
Our coordinates here are,
10, XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time when if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread. Carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb craving that we all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts that bread basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nah, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Baloo is on his way, and you can lose whatever you want to lose. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com. Trust me, you'll thank yourself.
Hey, when it comes to insurance, I think we all think kind of the same way, right? We pay those monthly premiums. Sometimes we add them up in our head and we go, ooh, man, that's a lot of money. So if something happens and we need you, you need to be there. That's Craig and Chris Kaprosky to a T. Customer service, baby. They act and they act quickly. Something happens, you call them, they call you right back. They get you the numbers, they get you the contacts, and you're off and running, right? If they don't call you, they call you right back. 2 words in this day and age sometimes get lost, but they are big on that customer service. So if it's homeowners, auto, flood, boat, small business, Kaprosky's be there for you every time you need. I speak from experience. I've dealt with the Kaprosky's numerous times. They are terrific. Get an insurance checkup today. Craig.Kaprosky. So easy to get a hold of. Craig.Kaprosky at goosehead.com. That's K-O-P-R-O-S-K-I. Craig.Kaprosky at goosehead.com or call 478-8422. That's 478-8422.
Jacksonville, ready to spice up your happy hour? Take advantage of the happy hour specials going on right now at One Night Taco Stand. Every day from 2 until 6, enjoy 50% off appetizers like queso and guac, empanadas and taquitos, 2-for-1 margaritas, and 2-for-1 daiquiris at One Night Taco Stand, Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
The Drill. From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
All right, gentlemen, we've trained for this. We've battled the elements. But if there's one thing we can't afford, it's letting the heat take us out before the big game.
But, Coach, the AC at my house is busted. I barely got any sleep last night.
Well, Johnson, you should have called Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. They're the real MVPs. Now let's cue the cool music.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com/Duval.
It's game time for your business, and Advanced Business Solutions has the winning play. With Xerox copiers, you'll never miss a deadline. Fast, reliable, and built for high performance, Xerox copiers keep your team ahead of the competition. From printing to scanning, Xerox brings the MVPs of efficiency to your office. Ready to make the winning move? Hire the champions at Advanced Business Solutions. Better known.
Printers, copiers, and IT management. Advanced Business Solutions.
If fishing is in your DNA, hop in the boat with Captain Kevin. It's the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Mia here. You know, people typically start and end their day by visiting their closet. So shouldn't that space feel calm, organized, like a little moment of luxury? That's why I chose Closets by Design. They specialize in custom solutions for every lifestyle and budget. Call them this week to schedule your free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus another 15% off and free installation. Don't wait for mom to do it. Call now at 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Welcome back to the program. This is The Drill. Heading towards 9 o'clock nasty. Always got that going for us. Going to be a long draft finally here Thursday night.
The analytics are getting overboard. I'm looking at the one of the guys that have 16 tour wins and multiple majors under the age of 32. Find a way to put Justin Thomas among the game's elite. Stop it. If you want to put Rory up there or Shep, we're going to push somebody by using these fractured analytics, then we got to, no, not to include Justin Thomas.
By the way, we talked a lot about Hilton Head and Justin Thomas. There were two tournaments this weekend. One was in Punta Cana.
Did Damon end up winning?
No.
I was rooting for him.
He bogeyed 16, 17, and 18.
Yeah, that's right on brand for Joel Damon.
And I mean, one of them was like an 18-inch putt on 17.
No, 18-incher.
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
Dude, it's the only win he has in his career. He's become kind of a fan favorite. I think that Netflix Full Swing did it for him.
Yeah.
But
He was great afterwards,
He was kind of control the whole way. And the bad thing about that is it's not a big money one. So that's a big money difference, too.
Yeah.
Oof, you got to win that.
You got to win it.
Who won? Do you know?
He was minus 350 to go wire to wire on the 16th tee.
That's still not great odds. So he must have only
Garrett
had
Higo is
the
your
lefty guy
of Corrales.
Higo was coming, right? Remember, like about 4 or 5 years ago, Higo was going to be a guy, a little lefty, and so now he's. I watched a little bit of that on Saturday, and Damon and Higo were paired together then, so they must have played together most of the weekend.
Yeah, it was brutal, dude. I mean, it was a brutal meltdown, and
I let this get past the goalie, so to speak, but your Rangers not even a playoff team, huh?
Oh, we fired the coach this weekend.
Is that, like, it's probably a short list that goes from, like, leading the league in points to not making the playoffs, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was bad.
Ended up the same as my
Bad
Flames.
year.
I feel you, friend.
Bad year. Knicks, though, had a little 21-0 run in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the Pistons are not ready
Sent
yet.
the Pistons home.
Next year, Pistons probably going to be a tougher route, right? They need that year. They're going to, and they'll win
Let's
a
hope
game.
so.
You know, New York will win the 2 at home. Detroit will go home, and they'll get crazy, and they'll win 1, maybe even 2. But the Knicks will ultimately win the series, and then you get to that tough round.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you want? Like, have you looked at your bracket? Like, who are you rooting for?
Well, I mean, we get the Celtics in round 2.
Well, so there's no way. I see what you're saying. Well, I didn't know what your seed was. You could have had the Milwaukee Indy winner.
Oh, no,
I wasn't sure who you.
We get the Celtics.
You get the Celtics.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not good. So
No.
you're the 2-3.
Yeah. Yeah. Cleveland will get the winner of
So that's 4-5, Milwaukee and Indy.
Yeah.
I got you. I thought they were 3-6. That's what confused me.
So that's going on in the NBA. The only good game was the Nuggets-Clippers.
Yeah, the real egg of the weekend was laid by East Lakers. Pitiful effort at home, game one. You got to win that. You got to show some urgency. You got a 40-year-old man that you're hoping to lead you to the promised land. Long series and high stress. Probably not the best path. I was surprised and quite frankly a little disappointed.
Phoenix Sun, Capri Sun, Mohegan Sun, the sun about to set. And Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. You and Shannon.
Lakers in 5.
Yeah.
Ant-Man,
In 5 what?
Ant-Man, call the police, man. I don't want to see that, man. Lakers in 5.
How about $50, 5-1? It ain't Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5, bro. Come on.
I know how it gets you emotional. You lost $100 on the stinking Bulls.
I did, man.
That's how you roll.
And I just paid him.
Yeah.
First, I paid him $99.99.
Attaboy.
And then he was like, "I want my money."
Frost, you know who Jay Siegel is?
I do know that name. Jay Siegel. Is that an agent?
No.
Who?
Jay Siegel is a 2-time U.S. Amateur champ, 3-time U.S. Mid-Amateur champ, British Amateur champ, 9 times Crump Cup winner, 3-time Masters Low Amateur, 9-time Walker Cupper, 2-time playing captain, 10-time Pennsylvania Amateur champ, 4-time Pennsylvania Open champ, PGA Champions Tour Rookie of the Year, Bob Jones Award winner.
Which World War era is this?
He just died at the age of 81. He's one of the great amateur golfers in the history of the sport.
Yeah,
he
never
just
heard of
passed
him.
away. You never heard of Jay Siegel?
Mm-mm.
Really? Oh.
Buddy Marucci, heard of him. Now, when's the last time Jay Siegel won an amateur? And this is why I will have never heard of him.
That's
I mean, like the U.S. Amateur didn't really show up on my.
I can remember Jay Siegel.
I don't remember a thing about him. Nothing. Wow. Now, I didn't pay much attention to the U.S. Amateur until I had to cover it here. I was never a big on my sports radar. It wasn't a big event to me my whole life, so I didn't follow amateur.
Turned pro in 1993 at the age of 50. Became a member of the Senior PGA Tour.
Oh, yeah. Jay Siegel, the Senior PGA Tour golfer. I do remember now that you say that.
Okay.
But
he became the only golfer ever to win the U.S. Amateur.
He won on Senior Tour, I bet you.
I bet he did. In 1983, he became the, he won 8.
So he was 80 now. So in 83 was what? 40 years ago, he was 40-something?
Turned pro in 93, went to Wake Forest.
He was 50.
20 professional wins.
He turned pro on the Senior Tour.
Yeah. 20 professional wins. I did tie for 26 at the Masters in 1980.
Yeah.
That would be as an amateur.
Yeah, that's ahead of me.
Senior PGA Tour Rookie of the Year in 94. The only, what did I say? Yeah, pretty illustrious career for an amateur.
To have not been, and it tells you where golf is.
He was considering a professional golf career while in college, but injured his arm in an accident, decided on a career in insurance while competing in high-level amateur golf. Developed his own successful insurance business in the Philadelphia area for more than 30 years. Hosted the Jay Siegel Invitational Golf Tournament at his home, raised millions of dollars for prostate cancer research. Just passed away this weekend.
I think that the U.S. Amateur it's an odd one from this standpoint. It just doesn't register with most. You find out after the fact. Like when a guy wins on tour, they will recall him being a U.S. Amateur champion.
Well, yeah, it's like minor league baseball.
Tell me the last. Can you name a U.S. Amateur champ? Is anything registered? It may register for you because you anchor on the weekend still in sports, so some of those things are probably going to dot you.
You mean recent ones?
Yeah, and like what's the most recent U.S. Amateur winner you can name?
The guy, only because I was watching the Masters, the guy who played with the champion, the P guy.
Correct, but you don't know his name, but that doesn't count because we just
won.
told that one, yeah.
And I would say the guy who turned pro from Alabama won.
He did. That's great. Those are the last two, in fact. What about before Dunlap in 23? Can you name one?
If you name them, I'll probably tell you about
If I go back to
name them, I'll tell you if I can see if I can say something about them.
First of all, there are some big names.
Okay.
You want some of the big names that have won it in the last few years?
Go backwards. Who won the last one before Nick Dunlap?
Sam Bennett.
Texas A&M cocky golfer, had something from his dad tattooed on his arm.
James Piot.
Don't remember him.
Tyler Strafacci.
Don't remember him.
Never heard of him. Andy Ogletree.
Name sounds familiar, but not much.
2018, Victor Hovland.
Big name.
2017, Doc Redman.
Love Doc.
You know him on tour. It's interesting some of the guys they beat in the final, like Doc Redman beat Doug Gim.
Okay.
Oh, this is interesting. Curtis Luck, 2016. He beat Brad Dahlke. I'll throw that out there for you YouTubers. Brad Dahlke's on one of the YouTube channels.
Okay.
2015, you've heard of him.
Okay.
Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
He won the final 7-6.
Oof. We waxed the guy.
2014, Gun Yang. Never
Gunny.
heard of him.
Gunny.
He beat Corey Connors in the final.
Oh, Corey, that one hurt.
Matty Fitzpatrick, little Matty won. We Matt Fitzpatrick in 2013.
Okay.
And then before that, buddy, you got to go back to Stephen Fox, Kelly Craft. I know you know some of the names, but not very, especially when it comes to pros. Kelly Craft, Peter Uihlein, Ben On.
Peter Uihlein, Ben On, yeah.
Danny Lee. Colt Knost, Richie Ramsey,
right.
Eduardo Molinari, Ryan Moore, Nick Flanagan, Ricky Barnes, Bubba Dickerson.
Bubba.
Jeff Quinney.
Shout out, Bubba.
Yeah. Matt Kuchar the year after Tiger won it 20 years in a row. Tiger actually won 3 in a row.
3 in a row, man. God, that's so hard. Imagine winning the U.S. Amateur. Is that harder than winning like a major 2 years in a row? It has to be.
It's not because he's so much better.
Yeah, I guess he was so much
The majors is harder because you got better golfers. He just beat the snot out of these dudes.
So
Although he did go overtime with the Gator guy.
He beat.
And Matty Every says Steve Scott takes way too much juice out of that he should.
He beat. That was at Pumpkin Ridge.
That's right.
He beat
38th hole, two holes.
He beat Steve Scott. He beat your guy,
Buddy Marucci.
Yeah, and then he beat.
Buddy Marucci was like a 48-year-old amateur. He only beat him 2 up.
Yeah, and then he beat. Was it Kelly's brother?
Kelly Keeney's brother, Trip Keeney.
Trip Keeney.
And who also Hank
Didn't
Keeney.
you play a round of golf with Kelly Keeney?
I did, yeah. And Hank Keeney ended up being better than Trip.
Okay.
Remember Hank was kind of the wild one? Do you remember Hank Keeney?
I do.
He was kind of the wilder of the dark-haired one. He actually probably won on tour more than Trip did. I don't know if Trip Keeney won on tour.
Damn, Jay Siegel won 2 U.S. amateurs. 8-7, 8-7.
Oof.
That's a wax.
Pretty good. Chris Perry, that's that big fat dude from South Carolina. You remember Chris Perry, the Clemson
He went to
golfer? Like
Clemson.
350 pounds.
Yeah.
There you go, a little trip down memory golf lane that you guys will never get that time back.
You'll
You're
never get it
listening
back.
to The Drill. It's the Monday Morning Quarterback.
We'll talk about the draft.
Live inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Join the 1010XL Podcast Network.
Okay, excellent show, everyone.
Now you can find all your favorite 1010XL podcasts in your platform of choice.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. And I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Getting a pool? David Garrard here. I just did. But before they dug, I called Clearwater Irrigation, and they capped off all my sprinkler lines so the pool company could just dig away.
Then when your pool's finished, we'll install your sprinkler system back to full coverage.
And now my backyard oasis is getting watered beautifully.
And maybe then, Dave, I could take another quick dip.
Bigger swimming trunks, John. Much bigger.
Clearwater Irrigation.
And drainage, too.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Prosser here for Lloyd's Heating and Air. We live in Florida. Seasons change between noon and midnight. Got to make sure you're comfy, and you can do it with the leader for commercial, retail, multifamily, or hospitality projects. That's Lloyd's Heating and Air. Top-tier residential service, you bet. No gimmicks, no mascots, just real expertise and hard work. As your trusted statewide mechanical partner and local family-owned team, Lloyd's, the only name Northeast Florida needs. Visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Listening that fits your schedule perfectly. Absolutely brilliant.
Go on demand.
Ad-free shows after the live shows end. How about that? Channel 5. Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. You've heard us talk about it. Window World, the #1 window replacement company in the USA, selling over 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years.
That's a lot of satisfied customers, and why J.D. Powers has awarded Window World Best in Customer Satisfaction 3 out of 4 years.
Window World stands behind their slogan, simply the best for less. With Window World, you get top quality windows at a price that leaves more of your money in your bank account, and you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement industry. When compared to our competition, there is none. See for yourself. Call the competition. Get quotes from them. But before you buy, get Window World's free estimate and compare the quality of the windows and the price.
You'll see.
And when your new Window World windows are installed and they're saving you money on your energy bills, if anything goes wrong with those windows, Window World and I will be there to make it right. That's my guarantee.
Call Window World today. Start saving money on your new windows and your energy bills, and take vacation with your savings. Window World, online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this week at the newly renovated 5-Star Ballpark. The Jumbo Shrimp take on the AAA Atlanta Braves. Don't miss Thirsty Thursday and Fireworks Friday and Saturday. Baseball all weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
Hey, it's Guggen Golf time. If you and a friend would like to play in this year's Coastal Equipment Guggen Open Golf Tournament, May 19th at Hidden Hills Golf Club, text Guggen, Googan, to the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010 for your chance to win. Score a hole-in-one and win an Atlantic Infinity SUV. Enjoy Chick-fil-A breakfast, the Dandy Foods lunch. Check out the latest big boy toys from Ride Now Power Sports. Thanks to our sponsors, Taco Loop, Lift Power, Instant Keys, and Southern Oak Insurance.
Paying rent can feel like throwing money away. And when you're spending so much, it can be hard to see yourself buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is helping you put your monthly rent towards home ownership with Rent Rewards. For the first time, save up to $5,000 off the cost of your first home just by paying rent. Only at Rocket Mortgage. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
This is Molly McDonald with your Tintin XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. The Orlando Magic fell to the Boston Celtics 103-86 in Game 1 of their first-round playoff series yesterday in Boston. The Magic were outscored 30-18 in the third quarter that allowed the Celtics to seize control. Orlando's head coach Jamal Mosley postgame on the importance of second-chance points.
I think that second half is when they really turned up the second-chance points. I think we did a great job in that first half. I believe we had 10 offensive rebounds in the first half, and then we died down in the second. So I think they were able to capitalize in the second versus what we were doing. So again, we just being able to put two halves together, playing that way is going to be very important throughout this series.
Game 2 is scheduled for this Wednesday at the Garden at 7. The JU Dolphins men's baseball team get ready for a midweek matchup tonight, hosting Bethune-Cookman after completing their ASUN Weekend Series sweep over FGCU. First pitch tonight at 7. It's 76 degrees at 9:05. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
10 10XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
The great musical scores in film history. Isn't it?
It really
It's just like
scare
horror
the
movie
living
too.
hell out of
Maybe-
you. when
Maybe
you
like
sit in
the Friday the 13th kind of music.
12 years old, you're sitting in the damn theater watching this thing, and all of a sudden that music starts. and
You
you're
know
like,
it's coming.
Oh, my God.
boy. Yeah.
I do. Start doing this, right?
Yeah.
Look at
Again.
the screen. You want
I was born in 67. Movie came out in 77. Somehow I saw that bad boy in the theater. That's bad parenting.
Yeah. I was there too.
I live in Middle Tennessee, like we said before, man. There ain't no sharks there. It never bothered me either. I also remember that part of it. I never remember being incredibly, scared or bothered by it. Anyway, we're talking Sharks football, not silly nonsense. And we got a bunch to get to here. Taking on the chin for the first time. I hate that old sports cliche. You can't win them all. But as we welcome in Coach Jason Gibson, you don't win them all. Rarely do you. So
shouldn't have wore those damn uniforms. I'll say it.
The Osprey Pride, not so much. What happened? Tell us. You give us your view. I know there's some details we're going to get into here a little bit, but
they scored more points than we did.
there we go. The Baselli answer.
I love old John McKay. He said, "Hey, we don't block, but we make up for it by not tackling." I love that phrase.
My favorite with him back in the day was, "Can you talk about the execution of your team today?" He said, "I'm in favor of it."
Yeah.
Classic.
He's got the best interviews. Nah, you know what? Hey, they got a little bit better. We just didn't. We made mistakes we hadn't made all year.
Yeah,
and it happens. It happens. I tell people. Obviously, I was madder than you can imagine after the game because I felt like we didn't play well. I've never had an issue if we lose a game to where you just get outplayed. You play your best, they play their best, and the score happens, and it's a good game. That's what indoor football is, and it happens. But for them to make the mistakes that we made, which is uncharacteristic of us through 3 weeks, we hadn't made those mistakes in 3 weeks, and it came out. And I guess everybody has an off shooting night or whatever, and our bad night on the mound, and it happened. And unfortunately, I just hate it happens at home.
You try and sports is about taking a lesson out of a learning lesson, maybe something that was going on before, or something you can take from the outcome, and maybe there's a lesson. You played a team, you beat them already. It's human nature sometimes to kind of take it for granted. Maybe do you use that as a warning for them now?
Well, the thing about it is when you lose a game, and all coaches know this, when you lose a game, you go back and watch film, you're like, we didn't play really bad as I thought we did. Sometimes when you win, you're like, I didn't think we really played as good. We got away with one. So you always take failure or losing a game or anything like this, and you build on it into ways to make you better. Us going through a horrific season last year made me better.
Gotcha.
And so this will make us better. So it was a tough game for us. We got to get on the board a little bit more offensively. We got to get a little more points.
Got some injuries there, man. We got a bunch of 2 running backs. You're going to be out, no?
Yeah, well, so far.
Next man up.
Can you say what you said to me earlier that had never happened to you before in your career? Are you allowed to say that?
Wow. I don't know.
Okay, I hear you.
That means no.
There was some terrible officiating this weekend. Let's just say the league at least shared that they agreed that there was a bad one.
I got confirmation on what I was arguing. Yeah. I'm just going to leave it at that. And you know what? That's never happened. So kudos for them for having
at least owning it.
For owning it.
They had a targeting call, Dan. They knocked their guy to Kingdom Come. It should have been called. It was right there. Never was.
And look, everybody makes mistakes.
Sure.
But, to be able to get that confirmation, that's what our league head officials are really good. He takes this as serious as anybody.
Good.
On all the officials in this league, or ACC, SEC, they're big-time officials, and they do the game too, and they all make mistakes, and I get it, but not on the edge of safety.
And the guy is hurt and probably going to be out for still hospitalized.
Yeah, that's trainers and doctors talk. Unfortunately, I can't talk. But for them to own it, hey, good for them. That's what makes the league really good. Some of these other leagues, you just move on. But that went a long way for me. But I'm worried about safety of the players.
Personnel it's part of it. You got a couple ACLs you're dealing with important players.
Well, we're getting there. But next man up. And we got a great personnel guy. I got a young man, a personnel kid named Anthony Tanz out of FAU that I'm telling you, he's going to be a GM for an NFL team one day. His kid's unbelievable.
Oh,
he is
finding guys.
Oh, he finds these guys.
Good.
He is between me and him, and that is so important.
Yeah.
Finding
at this time of year, do you find them from other leagues, or where do you find guys? You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a lot of guys that were holding out. A lot of guys we were talking to wanted to play in the UFL. Well, that window's done come and gone. So now they're looking around going, okay, now what do I do?
Right.
There'll be some CFL cuts coming up here real soon. There'll be some UFL cuts. We had a couple guys in our league get cut from the UFL, come back to the indoor league, and then they just got signed last week back to the UFL because those teams and leagues are getting injuries.
Yeah.
And it's just a revolving door. But, there's guys that have to step up, and we got a big game this week against Quad City. Quad City's 4-0.
Good team. On the road.
4-0. I was really hoping to have that 4-0 matchup, but it doesn't matter at this point. You got to, for us right now, we're undefeated on the road. We play really well on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And
you get their attention, too, coming. I mean, look, there's nothing. You got to try to find some positives in a loss. And, you rattle off 3 quick wins. You're looking good. Everybody starts feeling good about themselves. And then it kind of gets refocused, maybe.
You know what? It's a good league.
Yeah.
You're not going to have a bunch of, nobody wants to have 2 teams at the top, 14-2,
right,
and a bunch of teams at 2-14. And when you come to the game, it's a blowout every game.
Well, especially compared to the
if I was a coach,
2 years ago, where a team would quit in the middle of the year,
or come in with one black helmet and 3 white helmets. You know what I mean?
Although if I was a coach, I wouldn't mind that.
Oh, it's boring.
If I was 14-2,
it's boring. As crazy as it sounds, we had 2 opportunities in that game. We only lost by 7, but we had a huge onside kick that we almost got. It was a great kick, and then, and I was going to go for 2. Hands down. We were 50% extra points. I'm not risking it.
You missed kicks, right? Missed the first one of the night.
If it's a tie score, I'm kicking for the win. If we're down by 1, I was going for 2 no matter what. Mm-hmm. And then we had them on 3rd and 7 with a timeout left on that last possession. We stopped them on 3rd and 7. We get the ball back. But still, I thought defense played great. You hold a team of 42 points, you're supposed to win the game.
With such a short field, is there much of a downside to an onside kick?
Well, here's what we do. It's crazy how these situations work. 2 situations happened in the game. We had practiced all week long, end of the half, 10 seconds, length of the field, no timeouts. And that's exactly what happened. And we run a play called Shark Special. It's the old school hook and ladder out of trips. Everybody's ran it, outdoor ball. We ran it to perfection. He caught it, hooked and ladder. We get down across the 25, no time. We put the ball out of bounds. There's 1 second left. I'd strut the field goal team on the field. I mean, it was great when we missed the field goal. But from a situational standpoint, you practice those things.
Sure.
And here's what's crazy. All these little things that are happening now early just make you better for when you need it in the playoffs.
Right.
And this is a playoff team. I expect that. I don't think anybody expects anything different, but you still got to win the games in front of you. But then the other situation, was they had a personal foul after the extra point. And they can take it on the extra point or I can bank it. I banked it because all week long I said, if we get a 15-yard personal foul on an extra point, I'm going to onside kick it to 10 yards because they're going to back it up 15 anyway.
Sure.
So we onside kicked it, almost got it, and then they still started on the other side of the field.
That's what I mean.
So it didn't hurt me.
Yeah,
it didn't hurt me.
Yeah.
But, one of the things that stood out, too, is we did not play well in special teams. Shocked. I was very shocked. We gave up too many possessions where they were starting on the other side of the field. They're dry. They had 30 carries, 30 rushing plays for only 60 yards.
Yeah, it shouldn't have that many points. You're giving too short of a field.
Too short of a field.
Yeah.
We gave it to them special teams wise. And again, our defense is stout. Offensively we're stout too, but you lose 2 key guys.
Right.
Like that, and you're plug and playing and you're reaching around and so it'll get better. I mean, we've got the best O-line in the league. We got the best quarterback in the league. We've got
good. I'm glad.
So I'm not freaking out.
I hear you.
I'm upset about the penalties. I'm upset about the discipline. I'm upset about things that we can control. I can't control targeting, can't control, certain things.
Yeah. All right. Well, on the road this week, big one against Quad City.
Quad Cities.
Then you're back home in 2 weeks.
And Iowa.
This is where you look
so
at
it's
your hand.
It's a good stretch for us. It's a good chance for us to.
You got to look at your hand there for that phone number and tell folks.
I got it now. I got it. I think we got a new sponsorship. It's tattooed on this water you gave me. So let me read it off. No, 904-621-0700.
Yeah.
Big crowd. We always do great as the season progresses. The crowds get really big. But it was a loud night. It was just really good for us all the way around except for the outcome of the score.
Yeah.
So
JackSharks.com. Get all your info there as well as we follow them through this summer season. Coach, as always, appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
See you.
They know the teams. They know the players. They know the game.
I think the 3 of us made a really good team. I see all kinds of possibilities here.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
Helmets and heels.
Weekdays noon to 2 on 1010XL.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, man, what's that noise?
Do you hear it too? You can hear it, right?
Yeah, it's your air conditioner. It's like a grinding or a rattling.
And it's getting on your nerves, right? Like it's eating at your brain and you can't think straight? But it just keeps grinding and squeaking and taunting and nagging. You're not good enough. You're a failure. Why can't you be more like your sister, the lawyer?
Yeah, I don't hear that last part so much.
Yeah, but it's not cool, right, Jason?
It could definitely be cooler. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we can totally repair whatever that noise is and get your AC working smoothly and silently. We fix these things all the time.
So I won't be a failure?
Life should be enjoyed. If some irritating, broken air conditioner is making you crazy, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's superior craftsmanship and timeless design. Right now, get $300 off all windows or $825 off patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months, but this offer expires April 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
The best game day parking in all of Duval is at Tailgaters Parking. Are you ready for some football? Tailgaters is just steps away on the east side of the stadium. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and secure your season parking pass today.
Need a fast casual option that's healthy, fresh, and delicious? Choose the Great Greek Mediterranean Grill. Gyros, salads, hummus, and more made completely fresh right as you order. Off 210 and St. John's Parkway. The Great Greek Mediterranean Grill.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Gang, it's one of life's most important decisions. If you're 18 years or older, you just got married, you just got divorced, you have children, you likely want to take care of your family. Of course you do. That's why I'm here to tell you about Matt Hinson and the Hinson Law Firm. I'm not the attorney, Matty is, but we both want to know, have you done your last will? Man, Dan, I don't know why you bring that up. That's depressing. No, it's not. Something you got to take care of, something you want to do because you work hard for your money. You want to get the money to the people that you choose. Planning also helps minimize income, gift, and estate taxes as well. Right? You want to have as much money as you can for your loved ones. Matt Hinson will listen. He'll help you with your decisions. He'll provide you info needed so you're at ease with your choice. It's the Hinson Law Firm. Real easy to get a hold of Matty. 527-1700, 904-527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. Gang, don't let the state decide your fate.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gator! Yo, it's your main man, E to the T, for Twin Peaks, which happens to be the best in the game. Here your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. And it's bigger game days and it's bolder fight nights, too. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that's coming through in the clutch every time, from lunch to late at night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig in the handheld smash burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more. Only at your local lodge. And tell them E.T. sent you.
A lot lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Slacker plumbing.
Yeah, hey, listen, I need a plumber over here right now.
Yeah, well, we don't have any openings for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yep.
I was just changing the shower head and the water line broke and it's flying everywhere.
All right, 1 week.
What if I throw you an extra $100 to come now?
What's the address?
It's 205.
Oh, I guess he changed his mind.
If you've got a leak that can't wait a week, call Roland Reese Plumbing and fix your plumbing problems fast. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
10XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah. Welcome back to the program. Rocking and rolling here on a Monday. Draft week, finally. We've emptied the notebook with Adam Schnipper. We've looked at 7-round mock drafts.
Sure we have.
We've done everything we can possibly do.
I think the newest kind of realization as we get closer and closer to the draft and people seem more sure on what folks want, we may be underplaying this 5th pick that the Jags own as a bit of a pivot point. There could be teams sitting there 6, 7 to 12 who want to get ahead of the Raiders for either Genty or ahead of the Saints for Shador or ahead of the Raiders for Shador. So I do think that there's some growing momentum that 5th, because 1 through 4, nothing's going to happen there that people aren't prepared for. But the Jags, as a wild card, they could take a number of players, which makes teams nervous. They know the Raiders have eyes on a couple of guys. I think the best way for the Jags to use Ashton Genty on draft day would be somehow convince, the Bears to move up 5 spots. Then you go down to 10, and you're still in line to get some of these players that have been linked to the Jaguars, I would think.
Yeah.
I would think. Again,
Let me ask you a question.
It depends on what the value, what kind of, how do they look at Mason Graham? Do they look at Mason Graham as an all-pro or as just a high-floor player?
Yeah. Better look at him as an all-pro.
You need all-pro. It doesn't scream all-pro to me, but who knows?
Who's the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns?
Kenny Pickett.
He's going to be the starter?
I would assume right now he's on the roster. I mean, they got to draft someone. I know they want to.
You take Kenny Pickett over Joe Flacco as a starter?
Yeah. Oof. They will too.
They will?
I would think. Flacco's 100, Hick.
I don't care.
Flacco's not as good as you think he's been.
Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett as your quarterback? I mean, it might be.
I'd probably go Pickett, man.
You would?
Just for the mobility.
Yeah. So you got any mobility?
You got more than Flacco.
I don't know.
Flacco was just...
I think it would be like me against Mr. 10.
That's slow motion right there. You know when they take videos
Flacco, wasn't Flacco like Flacco's little glory year 2 years ago? Was fun and it was overstated to a degree. And then last year he was terrible, wasn't he?
Was he?
Wasn't he like 6 touchdowns, 11 picks or something?
Probably. What was Kenny Pickett?
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that
they'll draft one.
Yes.
They'll draft one in the 2nd round after they take Travis Hunter?
If they don't trade up, if they can't. I think they have a first round pick late, I think.
I don't think so.
No.
I'm about to say, because Jackson Dart might be gone by then.
No, they're going to have to move up. And I don't, how high are you going to get? Jackson,
listen. They don't have to move up for Jalen Milroe or
maybe
Louisville kid or.
Well, not for the Louisville kid. I'd kind of draw the line at Milroe as far as upside, it feels like.
12-7 last year for Flacco. In 6 games.
Yeah. Who was he with? Colts?
Is that who he was with?
I think.
No one knows.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Colts. It was the Browns the year before.
It's the Browns the year before?
Yeah, and then he came with the Colts, right? Yeah, he took over for...
One thing about these backup quarterbacks, I know one win they always get us.
Well, that's true.
Right? What's Joe? We went up to Cleveland with Trevor, and Joe Flacco beat our ass.
Yeah.
Cleveland came down here.
That was the one where Calvin Ridley, stopped running a slant or something. I mean,
always something.
Cincinnati came down here with a backup quarterback.
Backup quarterback. No.
BTA.
What was that guy's name? West Virginia. Browning Nagle or whatever.
Yeah.
Jake Browning.
Browning
He went in there and he beat our ass.
BTA.
Nothing West Virginia.
I'll tell you, the old-timer, Josh Johnson, Washington, then Redskins.
Way back in the day.
Goes in there, beats our ass.
Well, we've been terrible. We're the worst team in sports for 30
God
years.
almighty, man.
I mean, literally, like, if you look at winning percentage...
most NFL teams, they get a backup quarterback on the... Oh, man, we get a dub this week. Not us. No, we'll find a way.
Well, and there's also this. Those often correlated with us starting the equivalent of a backup quarterback ourselves.
Well, that may be true.
That's been a problem.
Golly, man. Cody Kessler.
Cody Kessler. Former Brown himself.
The only team Cody Kessler would beat? Us. Himself. Jake Luton? Us. Himself. Oh, man.
I could see the Browns waiting and, like Milroe. Hope Milroe. I think Milroe will go before the first ends.
Yeah.
I think a team that could, where did the Steelers land at quarterback? Still nothing?
Didn't they pay old boy, though?
Who?
Who they got? No, they got Mason Rudolph.
Rudolph is the guy. They let both their guys go. They both left.
He went and got paid with
Wilson
the
and
Jets.
Fields both left. I'm saying who's their quarterback? They got to get a quarterback.
Yeah, they'll get one.
That's got to be Milroe at the end of the first. So if
21st, it might be Shador.
He'll be gone.
By who? If the Saints don't take him, who's taking him?
I think the Saints will take him. Saints got to take a quarterback.
Yeah.
So it's either Dart or him.
Yeah.
And everyone that's associated around the Saints or the mock drafts or Mel or anyone else is saying the Saints are going quarterback. Although maybe that's where
I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers should have committed someone so they could have some sort of plan. I'd be ticked if he ended up on my team now.
Yeah, the Steelers have nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
Browns really don't have much.
No.
Giants at least have Russell and Jameis. So
Which is the equivalent of two nobodies.
Yeah.
But sure, I hear you.
Russell's something, man. You know where Russell was Saturday, don't you? Where would you be Saturday in New York if you were a member of the Giants?
Was there a concert or something big going on?
Keep going.
Coachella?
No, but what's happening at the Garden Saturday?
Something big. I'm not sure. Something
Knicks
big.
playoff.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. He's courtside.
Front court side.
Oh, yeah. Knicks playoff.
Sierra.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Sierra.
Hammer time.
Yeah.
Sitting next to Spike Lee or somebody.
Probably a $20,000 outfit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy. Is that why people don't like him? Why don't they like him? He's a nice guy, right?
Yeah, he's a real nice guy.
Yeah. Just different cat, though.
He is a different guy.
Different cat. Yeah. Yeah, they're all sending out their mocks, man. They're all sending them out. Some got Genty, some got Graham.
I think just that it's so boring. It's Graham. It's always Graham. I think people try and put it in there. When you really analyze, there's a lot of reasons why the Jags aren't taking Genty, and one of them I think is they got two running backs that were recent, relatively high picks.
Yeah, I know you would have. Think about the investment you'd have in your running back.
So you
room.
can't do it.
Yeah, you can. In this respect, we didn't pick them.
Yeah, I know.
And they're going to get rid of one of them.
The health of I know. I guess here's the dirty secret to why Genty is not going to be in play, at least to me, is that it is, and this is undeniable. It's a deeper than normal draft for running backs, which is a position that already in a normal year you find talent in the mid to late rounds.
Yeah.
It's just too much pointing towards getting a back in the mid to late rounds than to use the 5th overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
The closer you get, the better option certainly seems to get somebody to trade and get another couple picks.
One 9 o'clock nasty note for you.
Oh, no.
E told me that there's a new movie out.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
Sinners.
Okay.
With Michael B. Jordan.
Is that a vampire movie?
Yeah, the vampire movie.
Yeah,
one of the actresses.
Did you like it?
I haven't seen it. I wasn't going to watch it, but I hear nothing but great reviews.
Yeah, I've
about
heard
the
that
movie.
too. I like Michael B. Jordan. He's good.
One of the actresses is Josh Allen's fiance.
Quarterback
Josh
Josh
Hines Allen or quarterback Josh Allen?
Quarterback.
Okay.
And apparently she's got a little bit of a love scene with MBJ.
Oh.
Okay. Who is his girlfriend?
Haley Steinfeld.
Okay.
Known actress.
Yeah.
Let me go check her out real quick.
Yeah. Anyway, so a little bit of a love scene with MBJ. I'm just wondering how that's going to go over in the locker room with the fellas.
I don't know, man. That's a good question.
Boys love Josh Allen, but
so they saw every bit of her? Is that what happened?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You haven't seen the scene?
Yeah.
I think it depends on how much she shows the world. Like the actual the acting like you're canoodling with the dude, I think you can get by, but there would be something a little bit off-putting of the whole world seeing your girl.
And this will also say how close are the guys like Josh Allen and his teammates.
They like him a lot.
Yeah, they like him. So, you know what I'm saying? It depends.
Probably won't say anything.
Right.
But they want to.
You got to be able to say something.
Oh,
That's
they
your brother.
want to.
You got to.
Yeah, maybe like a picture of her posted up over the... watch the heartfelt kiss between Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld that captivated the audience.
I wish I liked vampire movies. Vampire movies and werewolf movies and all that stuff, man, that's just way overplayed for me. And I never really got into the zombie deal. Did you, Hick?
Oh, we got some more about this. I can't. Oh, dear.
Oh, here he goes. He's full down the naughty hole.
Haley Steinfeld's We Gonna Kill. Oh, dear.
What are you doing? What now? What's he doing, E?
The stars play as
You gotta
strange
watch this guy, man.
lovers in the film, but their respective swag and aura has folks hot and bothered over their portrayals.
What does that mean?
E, you're gonna have to go on this.
We need some culture in here.
Yeah.
He's gonna get us banned and censured.
Yeah, I don't want to get us banned and censured. E.
he had Freddie dying on a plane flight.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
I got away from him kind of quick there.
That was good. I've learned.
That's good. I'm not making fun of you.
What
I
was
get
that?
it.
Crash out?
Yeah, crash out. I only know because I saw it in a movie recently. That's how I learned what it meant.
I'm just like, you got to be careful if you use the term crash out when you talk about a plane.
Yeah,
it seems
that's fair. That's fair.
I hear you. It made total sense the way you said it.
But when I read it to you, you immediately knew what he was talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking
to
about.
the fact that he wanted Fred to tell you what it was because he too sensed that you were thinking he was going to go down in a fire.
I thought he was.
Yes,
I thought he almost died.
Makes sense.
I was worried about our guy.
That's a popular phrase right now used by the youngins.
All right, we'll gather ourselves together here. We'll take a break. We'll make the turn for home next.
And
time.
I'll crash out on someone next.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios, the race is on.
3 wide and 2.
This Sunday at Talladega.
Talladega Super Speedway.
Can you believe this?
Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower, 1010XL.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. Before termites attack your home or business and cause costly damage, Terminix it. Terminix stops termites in my home fast. These destructive pests may have been around for millions of years, but before they show up, so does Terminix. And their time is up. Don't live with a termite problem. I certainly wasn't going to. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. Terminix.com.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
What does your dream backyard look like? Hey, it's Joe C. and my friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit CSSOutdoor.com.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town. Setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town.
Hicken here with lots more on George Moore Chevrolet. Hey, Justin Moore, what are you doing in our commercial?
Dan, this Moore just wanted to remind folks of vehicles less than $20,000 on our lot. Or you can always go more with our Silverado EV.
I have my boy Blue, that beautiful Gator Blue Silverado. Love, love, love it. And that service department, second to none. Let's just say it means more to Gabe and the boys who take great care of us.
Not to mention, we do more for the community. We love Jacksonville. Been around these parts since 1986.
George Moore Chevrolet. Need I say more?
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time when if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread, carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb craving that we all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts that bread basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nah, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Baloo is on his way, and you can lose whatever you want to lose. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com. Trust me, you'll thank yourself.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 21st, 1994, MLB first baseman Eddie Murray on the Cleveland Indians at the time set a new record for number of switch-hit home runs in a game with 11.
Tax season is here, and your refund can go further at Big Chief Tire. Frank Frangie here. Put the extra cash to work by investing in your vehicle, whether it's overdue maintenance, brake repairs, or new tires. Their skilled technicians will help you get the most out of every dollar. With 5 Jacksonville locations, fair prices, and trusted service, Big Chief Tire has everything you need to hit the road with confidence. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold and silver and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at almost $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Oh, yeah, I'm cooling down on the red hot. Notes coming from the NFL as we get closer and closer to the draft. Be careful what you believe this week, by the way.
I'm cooling down on the red hot Atlanta Braves.
Oh.
So I'm going to do this for you. You guys say what you want about me and my barometric response to Atlanta over the course of a season, but nobody knows the Braves like I do. So what I did y'all a solid. It's up to you whether or not you want to watch them get there, but I've determined, I've gone through the schedule like it's an NFL schedule. The Braves will be 55-53 at the break. At the All-Star break, at the halfway point, they'll be 55-53. We'll see if that's enough to make the cheapest team in the league buyers at the deadline, because that will put them a solid 8th or 9th in the NL playoff race. They had a sweep, though, Dan, that they had to have or the season would have been over. We would have had the funeral today if they didn't sweep the Twins. I said that Friday, and thankfully they've saved me that embarrassment. That's about it. Notes everywhere, though. Notes galore. It always happens. Man, I can't believe there's still been no first-round pick dealt. This is going to end up setting a record for the closest to the deadline, to the date. I mean, it's this. We're already closer than we've been since 1993. That it's been this, deep into the process without a first rounder being dealt in some form or fashion. Inevitably, wonder when the last time there was no first round pick traded. Because 93 is the last time that it was this late. I wonder where it was.
Reddit struck kind of funny. They had a picture of the Colorado players who got their numbers retired as 12, Travis Hunter, and as 2, Dion's kid.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's weak sauce, and you ultimately do yourself a disservice.
Did you hear about the new hot romance out there with Elizabeth Hurley?
The 50-something-year-old Elizabeth Hurley? No, I saw a disturbing shot, I think, of her and her son, who they say looks just like her. That's not the goal there, kid. You're not supposed to look just like mama.
She's a pretty lady for her age.
She's sultry. She throws it out there a little bit, too.
Yeah, she's Billy Ray Cyrus and her.
I did see that.
Packing on some PDA.
Yeah. Okay, good for them.
Which kind of leads us into some New York City headlines brought to you by our friends at mypvconcierge.com. Dr. Rick Townsend and Concierge Medicine. Find out more information at mypvconcierge. You want to do some New York City headlines, guys?
Sure, and these are legit because they're just too odd to make up. This is what happens on the streets of New Crack City.
Okay. Wow.
I'd like to take a shot.
Bye. Next in line, Pope Francis dead at 88 after 12 years as progressive head of Catholic Church. These Cardinals are the top contenders to replace him. Oh.
Yeah, I won't know the hot list. Conclave. I would suggest watching Conclave. I saw that. It was pretty good.
Former Dem staffer who filmed himself having sex in Congress says he checked into psych ward after scandal.
Could you take about half of the body with you? Half the body. I think about half of y'all are insane.
German teens traveling to U.S. jailed and deported after loosely planned vacation deemed suspicious.
German ne'er-do-wells, skipping around Wally World? Is that what's going on?
What is going on?
I don't know. He doesn't look okay. Justin Bieber's fans double down on claims singer needs help after worrying behavior at Coachella.
You spend a month at Diddy's house and tell me if you look okay. Yeah, just another one. Add to the list of repair.
NFL draft bust looks unrecognizable after public intoxication arrest.
That's our guy, Justin Blackman. If you haven't seen the mugshot, don't. There's no reason to. Puffy, the oldest, puffiest 35-year-old man right now.
College faces closure after nearly 2 centuries unless it scrounges up $6 million by April deadline.
Yeah, go away. Well, whoever you are, so what? You won't be missed. There are more colleges than needed, friend.
Boogie on down, Ivanka Trump hits the waves in black bikini during sun-soaked family getaway in tropical Costa Rica.
Boy, it's amazing the difference in visibility for those two the first time around and this time. Remember how, ever-present Ivanka and whatever that husband of hers name was the first time? Mm-hmm. I haven't seen him at all.
Girl 14 killed by lion in front of horrified friend after wildcat entered her residential compound.
Where this obviously is not New York.
Right.
Here's an idea. Don't live somewhere where lions can, quote, walk into your residential compound. Maybe put a fence up if there are lions nearby. I mean, what are we doing? A 14-year-old?
Sky high, WWE legend sends woman flying after driving ATV into WrestleMania barrier.
Oh, I saw the highlight of that.
Too.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
Austin 316 says, I just whipped your ass.
Southern Cal mayor says he wants to purge homeless population by giving them all the fentanyl they want.
Who said that?
Southern Cal mayor.
Nice.
Actual headlines.
You keep classy.
Sure thing. Margot Robbie flaunts fit physique during Australian beach outing with husband.
Margot Robbie is one of those actresses that looks like about 6 other actresses just like her. I can never get them all straightened out.
Gator greeting. Florida home shockingly found 2 alligators at front door. They're getting smarter.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting smarter. I think one of them was in a little bit in an amorous mood and was following the other. That would be my guess. Yeah, they definitely don't go, team up door to door.
Desperate for answers, theories emerge after mom kidnapped, found dead in burnt car.
Yeah, there's no answers there that are going to be any good. I mean, this just in, it's like every Dateline. It was the husband.
Monkey business. Texas man smuggles rare baby spider monkeys across border but gets caught trying to sell them on Facebook.
Keep him away from guys named Chip.
Chip, I'm going to come at you like a spider monkey.
I think there was an episode of Law and Order where somebody was smuggling monkeys in a basketball or something.
Yeah. There's those monkeys, too, will rip your face off. I've heard that before.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
I don't know what a spider monkey does, per se.
You've been to Monkey Island. What did you see?
Those were...
Were they fearful monkeys? Were you scared of them?
I was scared when they came in a flock of, what do you call a group of monkeys? A pack of monkeys, about 1,000 deep. I was scared. You're damn right. I was screeching to high hell. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrifying. Absolutely. Most horrific thing I've ever experienced in my life. Couldn't get out of there fast enough.
What is this headline?
What do you mean?
I mean, we've had some crazy
headlines. A troop. I knew that, too.
Yeah, me too.
Troop of monkeys?
Yeah, troop of monkeys.
This one is...
I hit a troop. I hit a couple of troops.
This brings in, like, different and makes zero sense.
Okay.
But because... And I'll read this one particular one just because it's worth discussing.
All right.
I took a vacation with the Taliban. Right off the rip, that...
Okay. There's no such thing as a vacation with the Taliban.
But there's more.
They don't vacation.
Mm-hmm. I took a vacation with the Taliban and fell in love with a terrorist as we watched Gossip Girl.
Stop the cap.
Bruh.
What does that mean, Pros?
It means that there is a person writing an article who's an abject moron. That one of her girlfriends should slap her in the face until she's silly.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Just slap some silliness out of her. Yeah, there's nothing redeemable or worth falling in love with a terrorist. They're unfallen lovable.
You don't want to fall in love with a terrorist.
You can't fall. If you fall in love with a terrorist, then you too are evil.
I mean, Kenny Rogers tells us don't fall in love with a dreamer.
Don't fall in love with a terrorist.
But
I would suggest to you that if you have any sort of moral compass, if you're any kind of person worth living, it's impossible to fall in love with a terrorist. If you go by what love is, an incredible fascination, appreciation, respect for another person and what they stand for and who they are.
Yes, sir.
So if you're standing for like blowing up hospitals and car bombings, then there's probably two people wrong here.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, a terrorist, I would say, is unfallen lovable. If you do, then you just have another terrorist is what you have.
We are,
just a thought.
It's a Ryder Cup year.
Oh, I know. I'm excited.
I love the Ryder Cup.
Bethpage, where we're playing this year. Throw that in free of charge for you.
You got Scotty, Xander, Colin Morikawa, Bryson DeChambeau, Russ Henley, Justin Thomas, then Mav McNeely, Brian Harmon, J.J. Spawn, Andrew Novak's 11th.
Yeah, I would say Novak might be. Yeah, that's
Egan's got some work to do if he wants to play himself on the team.
That's what they are, man. I was looking back at some Ryder Cup. It's amazing. Brett Wederick made a Ryder Cup team, Hick. So, Brett Wederick, you remember that name?
Oh, yeah.
He was on a Ryder Cup team. So, point being, those 10, 11, 12s, there are a lot of years where they're forgettable players. You're going to win the Ryder Cup on your big dogs.
Yeah. Play us out of here.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Service by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Yeah.
Tony's here. Mike
morning.
and Tony getting ready for Jaguars today. Draft week finally.
Yes,
Gotta
it
be
is.
excited.
Yeah. We are loaded up all week, including today. Chad Ryder going to join us on the program today.
I saw he did a 7-rounder over the weekend.
Yeah.
And Ryder on the Storm is what he is.
we had him on a couple weeks ago, and he was the first one that I heard mention the possibility of Genty at 4.
Okay.
And he said, I got a 7-round mock coming in a couple weeks. Yeah. And he was like, you guys got to have me on draft week. We were like, yeah, we'll do that.
He's ready to make it official.
So we're having him on today.
Okay.
And look, it does feel like the whole world is coming around to an idea that Dempsey and I have been talking about now for a month and a half, almost 2 months, that Genty thing. We've been in on that being a real possibility for the Jags at 5 for a long time now. But the whole world seems to be circling. It's like sharks are around this idea now.
Which is perfect, which is mission accomplished for James Gladstone, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Whether they really...
Whether they love him or they
want
at
to
least
use
convince
him.
someone who does love him come up
That's
and get
what
him.
and I think that's more likely. I don't think they would take Genty unless we have 2 running backs dealt in the next 3 days. Yeah. Not that they're in the if they trade ETN over the draft weekend and that's part of the plan, then I guess. But
they wouldn't trade him till after.
No, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
All right. So Chad Ryder.
Chad Ryder, our question of the day today. We'll ask on Thursday. Obviously, what do you think they're going to do at 5? Right. Like, what do you actually think the pick's going to be at 5? But today, we got the top 5 coming up tomorrow. We got the media mock draft on Wednesday. So today and Monday are our last days to ask questions this week. So today we're asking, who do you want the pick to be at 5? And like I said, the Sharks are circling. Yeah. And with Genty being one of the options, he is getting a big portion of it. But Mason Graham, best offensive lineman available. If you have someone else in mind that you would want to see them take, just send us the name. We'll be kicking that around all day today.
Have a great show.
Thank you.
Mike and Tony getting ready for Jaguars today. Our Monday work is complete here.
We will see you tomorrow from live inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
I'm Tom Coughlin. Other than family, the greatest feeling in the world is when all of a sudden you realize you're the world champion.
On 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Hey, gang, you know what spring means in the real estate biz. It's selling season. Spring selling